Sunday evening brings us another edition of the ChairShot Podcast, or Monday morning, wherever you are, fine folks. Hope the week is kicking off well for you. The work week resumes with your pals, the ChairShot boys, getting you through that morning commute, accompanying you with your morning coffee or morning monster if you're like me. Might contribute to my belly woes I was having just before this broadcast. Maybe I should drink less of that, but nah, I don't think so. Don't think so. I mean, what's wrong with my diet today, folks? I mean, let's be honest. Okay, so I woke up this morning and I had a monster. I did not have any breakfast other than that. I then, after we went to the shop, we did the shopping. That was hell on earth because it was a Sunday. And then I made some delicious pizza bagels in the air fryer, right? Bagels, right? Cheese, pizza sauce, chorizo, delicious. That was my lunch. Then I visited my mum, and at her place, she had some Aldi knockoff Twinkies for me because she knows I went to the American candy shop and got the real deal Twinkies. So she's like, I'll get you the knockoffs. I got to be honest, lads, another victory for Europe because the knockoffs are better. Okay, the knockoffs were better. Because also the American shop ones here were extortionate, and they're, you know, I think they're the real deal. I think they're from America because they don't taste like food, whereas the Aldi ones taste like sponge cake. Do you know what I mean? So
that's the thing, because I coveted the Twinkie for many years because I was like, oh, Twinkies, yeah. I'm talking like this was 2010 or something. I was like, oh, Twinkies, oh my god, they talk about them in films or Die Hard. They must be like the best thing ever. Like, I can't wait to try a Twinkie. And I think someone brought a pack back for me from America, and I ate one, and I was like, what the fuck is this?
It's just cream-filled, like,
not even,
sponge.
But not even. It's like dry, flavourless sponge with a fake cream in the middle. That is it.
Right.
I know, listeners, I know this is like the most trite thing ever. 3 Europeans going, America. I love American garbage. I eat that shit. On my 2 trips to America, I still make. But the sweet, like your sweets. I mean, again, like the knockoff from Aldi is about 10 times the actual.
I was thinking, I was like, if this wasn't a Twinkie and this was like a box of cakes I bought from Lidl, I'd throw from in a fucking bin.
Yeah.
Spit on them, throw them in the bin.
Yeah, so the knockoffs are like actual. They're like what you were saying, Paul. They were like actual tasty little bit of sponge with a nice bit of cream inside it.
Yeah.
Whereas they satiated me. The ones I bought from the overpriced money laundering American sweet shops in my area, they satiated me, but they were just like tangy sponge, and I'm sure in this continent probably called cream-like substance on the inside of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I had that, had a Twinkie with my mum, and then the missus was away, so I was in charge of doing dinner on my own. So you know what that means. Spice bag, please, with a cola beverage on the side. So pizza bagels and a bunch of cream cakes and a spice bag. And lo and behold, folks, I had to drop a big one before this broadcast. Sorry to put you off your morning croissant. If you're listening to that, but and that's it for shit stories. I mean, that is it for shit stories. It's time to move on to the rest of the show. Well, hang on, no, something's just slid across my desk. It is a turd. Paul, why don't you take us to our first bit of life cup for the week?
Well, this is a belated life cup because this actually happened during last week's pod. Now, the listeners, due to the fucking editing wizardry that I employ on a weekly basis, will have been none the wiser, except that I promoted it in your lovely Discord, which, by the way, I was just saying beforehand, Barry, we need to get Joe in the Discord so he can see all the lovely comments that people leave.
Yes, yeah, people, a number of listeners on there.
This is the Wikipedia Discord.
No, this
Barryland.
Barry has his own Discord.
Yes, this is for fans and well-wishers of the streaming, but also you don't have to. People are also just in there chatting wrestling. You don't have to be on there talking.
And that's what, $19.99 a month, is it?
Well, I mean, it makes rates for you. I wouldn't expect you to pay full whack. I mean,
nice.
Paul gets the nice $17.99 rate. I can extend that to you as well.
Grandfathered in.
Grandfathered in, and plus, like, you get all access to all your great Barry emotes, which is actually not a joke. You actually will get access to.
I'm still on the 2007 prices because I've known Barry.
Yeah. Go on anyway.
Anyway, so again, listeners from last week will have thought it was just a fucking normal episode. Nothing strange happened. So we're going to pull the curtain back. No, it's not the shower curtain next to the toilet. We're not at that part of the story yet. But I don't know how so when did we do? Last Sunday. Normal day. I went over to my parents. I had dinner over my parents, a lovely sirloin roast. Absolutely delicious. So just to set the table that this wasn't a day where I had 4 McDonald's and I already shit myself twice going into the pod. No. Like this was, to counter your story just now, Barry, this was a normal diet day. I ate normal food.
Yes. You're better than me for that.
Depending on the day. This day, yes. Some other days, including today, no. So I'd been at the parents, come back. We're doing the pod. Pod's going fucking great, going class as it always does. And actually, luckily for me, we are right at the end of the podcast. I've just finished reviewing the book. So we got as far as the book, the Richard Osman book, blah, blah, blah. Talk about that. And as I'm talking about the book, I feel in my stomach, first I kind of hear and then I feel like a little cramp almost. And so it's kind of an isolated one-off. Oh, no problem. Okay. Finish talking about the book. And then I get a second stronger cramp in the stomach. And I think, okay, we're at the end of the podcast anyway. No problem. Pass over to Barry. And we're closing out the podcast. We're doing the little final chat before we do the house cleaning and send our well wishes to the listeners going our way. So by this point, I'm standing up because my stomach is like sore now.
Okay.
And it gets to the point where my stomach is now cramping very badly. And I get to the point where I'm doing the kind of jumping back and forth on tippy toes dance. Because this has just come out of nowhere. This is like from 0 to 100 in 20 seconds. And Barry is doing the outro and talking about listeners, you can go to ChairShotPodcast.com and you can say, I don't like Barry if you don't fucking finish his intro right now. So it gets to the point where we have to make an on the fly decision, right? Is I can wait here for 15 seconds for Barry to close out the episode and go, bye listeners, and hit stop on the recording. But if I were to do that, I would also be sitting in a brown mess. Or, and I don't even have time, listeners, I don't even have time to send in Discord a message to Barry and Joe going, BRB, sorry, something's come up through my stomach. I don't even have time to do that. It's like a split-second decision where if I don't leave the podcast now and run to the toilet, it's going to be like a fucking disaster movie. It'll be like Day After Tomorrow.
Oh, no.
Or one of those, what's the German fella who made that movie? There's all the disaster movies, that guy.
Yeah. Roland
Emmerich.
Roland Emmerich.
It was going to be Roland Emmerich proportions.
Plenty of CGI as well.
So I had to make the split decision to just go. I had to just go. So I had to run to the bathroom. Now, I have a wireless headset that I use during this podcast. So I can still hear Barry and Joe.
I thought you were going to say wireless microphone.
No, I don't have a wireless mic.
Naked gun situation.
I have a wireless headset. So I run and I'm, we won't get too graphic, but let's just say.
No, yeah. I think the listeners know.
They know what was happening. Yeah.
They're all on the toilet themselves listening to this. So.
Well, that's normal.
But I can hear Barry and Joe go, and goodbye from Paul. Silence. Paul, you there? And then they just start going, continue talking about how I'm not responding, what's going on, listeners, we don't know what's happening, blah, blah, blah. And I'm obviously trying to finish as quick as I can to get back here, to get back to, sorry guys, something happened. So anyway, we just about made it out unscathed. As I said, it didn't really, luckily it didn't happen like 45 minutes before, where I just suddenly disappear in the middle of talking about fucking a movie or something. So actually, it was crisis averted, and that's the first time in how long have we been doing this show? 16 years, almost exactly 16 years. In what, a week's time, give or take. Next week is our anniversary. You want to say?
Yeah.
first time in 16 years, there's almost been a nuclear event. So
it's interesting. You mentioned when you went off with the headset on you, and it was like, oh, we almost, if it was one of those ones like we probably used back in the day where we were using shitty gaming headsets with built-in mics, we could have heard you fighting for your life on the throne itself. You know,
imagine that. No, that would be behind a paywall.
That would be behind a paywall. I had a situation not involving a toilet. We're moving that shit go for the week. That's more next week. I had a situation last week or the week before on stream where I was ending my stream, right, and people suggested I raid another user, right. For those people who don't use Twitch, basically what that means is you and your users, you basically flick over to their channel, for lack of a better term, and your users go over and you say hi and you chat from there. You know, community members jumping over, hearing new people watching all this stuff. I don't really know how that stuff works very well because I'm even 6 years deep. I'm so new to this stuff. And I assumed the way that works is that I am then rebroadcasting that person's channel. I think that is how it's supposed to work. But so that worked for the vast majority of people watching me. But like 3 people, and they were texting me on every social network they have going, you're still live on your channel. So I had basically raided this other user's stream. The stream was going. The people from my chat were in there chatting and they were watching the stuff and all stuff. I was watching the stream, and you know, it's by the luck of God, I don't do any kind of ceremonial like Mickey waving to celebrate a great.
Say your weekly striptease.
My time for my weekly tickling my own arsehole in celebration of a stream well done. So they did just get like, because I also didn't check my phone. People were texting me. And it was like, I was just sitting there gormlessly because obviously I was tired and I was like watching this other stream.
Festus Murphy.
I was pretty much festusing right there into a live mic. So, you know, a little glimpse of the real world there. But that's shit guff for you.
Right, Joe, what stupid thing did you do, Joe?
Any bodily, you know, anything going on this week, Joe?
No emergency shit situations. Very normal week. In fact, just it's been getting out about getting soaked in the lovely weather we've been having this year. If you don't know, if you're not in the UK or Ireland, I don't know if it's been raining in Ireland, but I think literally every day it's rained this year. We're in February the 7th. Looking forward to that stopping at some point. That'd be nice. But yeah, nothing. No shit involved.
There's going to be shit involved. Well, Elvis Presley. I mean, I was very close to Elvis Presley, to be honest. That's how bad I got.
Any other life?
Unrelated. Yes, unrelated. Big old spring clean today.
Oh, very nice.
Nice.
Top to bottom. That has nothing to do with the state the loo was left in last week.
No.
The
spring clean, Jesus.
But, you know, I'm not a domestic goddess who's like every second day hoover the place, get the mop out and mop the place, and you know, I'm busy for all that. So typically I'll do like a once a week job. But it's just I've been a bit lazy the last few weeks, so the place did need a kind of top to bottom spit shine. So I was on my hands and knees scrubbing the toilet and scrubbing the bathroom floor and the bath and the shower and the windows. And we have like a little storage closet where we keeps maybe not the right word, accrue shite. Yeah, because we don't have a shed. Like you know, I live in a decent sized apartment, but it means we don't have any attic, we don't have any shed. So in terms of storage, we have this one little closet where all the paint cans go in, and we have a box of tools and But it does mean that any time, any, you know, random ad hoc utensil shows up, it goes in the room. So I also did empty that room. We had so much random shite in there. I had like a thing like a blind that we ended up not putting on the window. And so I just still had it. So big old clean out. One thing I haven't done yet, so this is spring cleaning part 2, is since I got my lovely new bookshelf for a sitting room, I think I have some books, like, because since I moved in, still have some boxes under the bed. I know that's a bad habit to have not yet fully emptied all that out, but we didn't have the bookcase yet for putting stuff in. So that's something since the bookcase has arrived, haven't quite, cleared out under the bed, make sure that there's nothing under there that would be more suited to go into a bookcase or whatever. I don't really want to be someone who keeps a lot of stuff under the bed,
Sure.
storing it for the sake of storing it when it's like not going to get looked at
Just
for 2 years.
gather dust.
Yeah. So, spring cleaning. So that was fun. So, I'll give you my rundown of my day as Barry did earlier.
Go on.
So I woke up at 2:30 in the afternoon.
Oh, that sounds class. I haven't done that since I was a teenager.
Having been, I stayed up for Collision last night.
Nice. Okay.
It was one of those things where, hey, I'm awake anyway. It didn't look like a great Collision. It was a fleet. Typically, I wouldn't stay up to watch that, but I was up, and so I just stuck it on and watched it. And then I think I went to sleep at like 5:30 or something. Woke up at 2:30, straight spring cleaning. No coffee, no Monster. I don't drink either of those.
No.
Nothing. Just cold turkey into spring cleaning for 2 hours. As I said, scrubbing. Most of my jobs involve scrubbing, to be fair. My brother did the hoovering and the mopping and that. I was on scrub duty. Did all that. Then drove over to my friends to watch the footy, which we'll get to in a sec. So that's where I had my breakfast at my friend's at 4:30, which was a bag of popcorn and a Pepsi Max.
Very nice.
Then drove home after the football and stopped into the shop to buy some dinner. Had my dinner then, which was carrots, chips, and some lovely golden chicken tendies. Oh, baby.
What an unusual spread.
Well, I do like to have potato plus some kind of meat, and I'll usually whack a vegetable on there.
Yes, that's the Holy Trinity. That's the Holy Trinity.
The Holy Trinity of Irish dinners. And then I'm here recording this. So that's basically all I've done today. But yeah, nice to get the spring cleaning done. I did get my haircut yesterday as well. I was telling Joe before we started. Now my camera doesn't work. So listeners, I'm describing to you as I'm describing to Barry and Joe, who can't see me before this due to a weird problem with the application I use for making this podcast. My hair, Joe and Barry will tell you this. My hair has been all fucking mad the last few weeks. It's gone all big. Listeners, you know that really annoying guy who's not cut his hair until United win 5 games?
Paul hates this.
But my hair was like going in that direction. My hair doesn't go long, right? My hair just goes big, like that, goes outwards, which I inherited from my mother. Thanks, man.
All right, geez, you're getting strays here.
Although my dad's hair is like an old cue ball, so at least I got the right parents' hair, so that's okay with me. But so my hair just goes big. So over the winter, I let it go. I'll keep my bonds warm. So I went down to the local barber. Last time I got my hair
cartoon with the little white bear with the blows on Sunday morning.
Elephant. Barber was an elephant, not a bear.
What? Who am I thinking of?
You're thinking of Barber, who was like an elephant, king elephant.
Oh yeah, wait, who's the bear?
I don't know what you're thinking of.
I don't know who I'm thinking of. Anyway, go on.
So I went down to barber, and but last time in August when I cut my hair, I went. There was a barber next to me here, and they charged €25 for haircut. And one down in the village, in the main street, €18 for haircut.
Okay.
I don't ask for a very complicated haircut. 2 back and sides, scissors on top.
No, we're 3 very plain men. We are 3 very plain.
Conceal the receding hair, just scissors on top. Don't go anything crazy or people will know my fucking secret. €7, the difference. Like, I'm not asking for a mad fade with little go faster stripes on the side or, whatever.
Oh, you should once though for a laugh.
Yeah, dyed in pink. So I went to this cheaper place, right? Very busy. But that must be a hallmark of quality. So I sit there and there was 3 people cutting hair. One of my little pet peeves, there was a kid getting their haircut, and I looked at the kid getting a haircut, and I looked down at my phone, and I was do, and 10 minutes later, I look up at the kid again. That kid's hair has not changed in 10 minutes. I don't know what they're doing. They're taking one individual hair and clipping it off into the... Anyway, I get called up finally, this young fella. What can I do for you? And he was lovely, to be fair. Lovely. 2 back and sides on top. Yeah, no problem. The about halfway through, he lets slip. This is my first day.
No way.
This is my first day. I said, "Oh, don't say that. Don't say that to me." Then, do you know when
he's a professional? No, I just walked in here. I don't even know anyone.
Yeah. Do you know when they kind of hold your hair up between two fingers and goes this long as with the scissors? This is how I'm watching on cut off your hair. He held. I swear there was 1 millimeter of hair. I'm like, so you're not going to cut it at all, basically. So because he was
actually just telling you about a fish he caught. You're like, this much?
Do you know when you go in and they're like, "This all right for you?" And like, look, I don't know anything about cutting hair. I don't know. You're supposed to know what's good. You're the professional. Cut it. So I think when I went in, I said something like, because not too short on top. We'll keep it a little bit like not too. This like my hair must have been. I want to say about like 6 inches of hair, maybe.
Right.
15 centimeters, 16 centimeters. Again, like half a centimeter. He's going, "I'm going to cut this much off." I'm like, well, I do want to have my hair cut ultimately. Like, I don't want to just have it shaved at the sides and leave it as it was on top or look fucking mad. So I go, "A little bit more off that, please. That's not quite enough." So we got to cut to a decent height. I think it just doesn't touch the fringe at all. Again, this is like 7 months of hair growth. So he's going to have a haircut with the fringe as it was. And he's like, "All right, that's you done." I'm like, "All right, you're not going to touch the fringe. You're going to cut the fringe." "Oh, yeah, we do the fringe, right?" Fucking hair's all over the place. It's like longer on one side than it is on the other. He hasn't really shaved the back of it very well. So I'm not going to, I paid for it. I'm too much of a geek to go,
well, yeah, I'm
sorry, this is rubbish. You've done a horrible job. So I just grin and bear it, pay the money, walking home, looking at myself in the window going, what was this again? God. Roland Emmerich Part 2, the head. So on the way home, I went in and bought some like hair gel, which I haven't used for these years, just that I can kind of fix it in post.
Fix it in post. Like a Roland Emmerich film. Okay. The through line of the metaphor. Okay, very good.
It depends how bad it is, because I've had ones like that where I was like, it doesn't look great, but it wasn't so bad that it kind of would have been noticeable to anyone else, but it looked like they'd fucked it up.
Yeah.
How bad this was. If it was that bad, I would have said something, but I probably would have said like, just shave it all off. Just give me a number 3 all over. Like, I've had that. So.
Yeah, I do that myself.
But I've, I'll leave it for 2 weeks, let's say. And if it's bad, I'll just go and get another haircut. But yeah, that was done. And then, as I said, I was watching the footy today, a very exciting game of le foot between Manchester City and Liverpool, which was for 60 minutes, was one of the most boring games of football I've ever seen, where two teams who are supposed to be the fucking best 2 teams in the league, going back the last decade, can't hit the target to save their life for love nor money. Then we had a great free kick from Dominic Szoboszlai, who's kind of inherited the Cristiano Ronaldo technique of just kick it really hard, don't aim anywhere. Just kick it at the goal, and the natural swerve kind of took it in off the post. Completely wrong foot of the goalkeeper. Very strange decision by Donnarumma to only have 2 people in the wall when it was the most obvious thing in the world that Szoboszlai was going to shoot. I mean, I would have had an extra player or 2. Could make the argument that Donnarumma maybe wanted to see the ball the whole way, knowing that Szoboszlai was going to kick it, but then didn't move and just let the ball go in. So very strange. Then we had, obviously, Bernardo Silva equalizer in the 85th, and then a very funny ending to the match. I want to get Joe's take on this ending, because I've seen all kinds of different opinions on it. But Alisson's up for the corner. Ball spills the halfway line. Cherky gets the weakest daisy cutter shot off. You see players score from the halfway line when the keeper is out of position. Yeah. And it's always like a lob that just kind of maybe bounces once or twice into the goal. This was like a pass from the halfway line. It at no point loses contact with the ground. And Haaland and Szoboszlai are making a beeline for it. Szoboszlai very obviously grabs Haaland by the jersey and gets around in front of him to clear the ball. But before he can clear it, Haaland only fouled him as well. And then the ball just trickles in as these two lads are grappling it in the dust.
Oh, tremendous.
And celebrations go wild, of course. And then the referee says, well, hold on a second. As nice as the spirit of the game is, lads, as nice as the spirit of the game is.
I know that was brilliant, but
we also do have to apply the rules a little bit.
What if we ruined it with this?
So this is one of those moments that comes across, only comes along once every 50 years, where there's a very, very, again, funny goal scored. But it's like, well, if Szoboszlai hadn't been fouled by Haaland, he would have cleared the ball. But he could only get fouled by Haaland because he had previously fouled Haaland and prevented him from scoring the goal. And so, and so it is a situation where it's like, well, do you throw your hands up and say 2 wrongs make a right? They cancel each other out and we just allow them to go on with their lives? Or do we say, well, again, we have to kind of reverse engineer from the goal and say, well, Szoboszlai would have cleared it had he not been fouled. But that could only happen by virtue of the fact that he had fouled Haaland previously. And so the decision was no goal given and a red card to Szoboszlai, which, I'm a very VAR apologist. I'm in favor of the general use of VAR. I think the use of it is at times absolutely abysmal,
excessive as well.
We've spoken before about the fact that, I think that the perfect idea for VAR is the referees have 1 minute to make a decision. If by 60 seconds you can't make your mind up, it's not clear and obvious enough, and you go on with the referee's on-field decision. Leave it at that. But I do feel like this is, again, one of those very, very rare cases where I feel like both ways would have been okay. I understand the application of the rules has to be literally the decision they came to, I think, is on paper the right decision. But as you said, Joe, it kind of ruins the atmosphere.
I think the funniest part of it for me was how Alisson was just he went up for the corner and then he just stayed up front. It wasn't a set piece. He was just hanging around in the area, and the game's just going on. And it's well, they're just playing without a goalkeeper. They were almost
fly keeper. Yeah,
it was almost certain City were going to score because they just didn't have a goalkeeper. They didn't have anyone in their own half. Yeah. It was bonkers.
But they didn't. Critically,
I know they should have.
I mean, this is the thing, right? Ultimately, are you in the camp where you would have said, just fucking give the goal and don't worry about what happened? Because it didn't ultimately affect. Yeah. I mean, this is the thing, right? You've seen, and this is also true of the City penalty, right? Where Núñez kicks the ball, goes immediately wide, but the keeper has clattered into him and knocked him over. There was no advantage gained or lost from the keeper hitting into the player, but a foul given. But I've also seen cases where a player gets knocked over, but because the ball was going out of play, they just hand wave it away. And similar to the goal, which was not given, I've seen cases where a player has been fouled and they just score anyway, and the ref just says, well, they scored, so fuck it. It's all over the place in terms of precedent.
Be interested if you had the appeals system there was one used in the under-17 World Cup in the summer, where you got 3 appeals for VAR, and if you wanted to appeal a decision, you could waive a card.
Yeah, it's like the tennis model, right?
Yeah, it's
challenges you have in tennis.
Would Arne Slot have appealed it because he's going, would we rather take the goal or the red card? So it would have been interesting.
I would think Liverpool would rather take the goal.
Absolutely.
And not lose Szoboszlai for the next time.
Absolutely, yeah. So it would have been. So in that case, the goal would have stood, even though, and Liverpool, it would have been up to Liverpool to be like, we're going to let it stand because we don't want to appeal it. So yeah.
Very fun ending to the game in
Good
any
stuff.
case.
And United 5 points clear of Liverpool. So Champions League on, baby, next year.
Yeah. Worked out in our favour as well. So Arsenal won, of course. I think despite the fact that City have won today, I still think Arsenal are still too far ahead. Although interesting, if City win in midweek, they will be 3 points behind Arsenal before Arsenal play Brentford. So that could make it a somewhat nervy game. Brentford are in good form themselves. Chelsea with a good win against Wolves, as you'd expect.
Mm-hmm.
And United, this is the thing, right? This battle for Champions League places suddenly, at one point during this game when Liverpool were ahead, it was like 4 points between City in second and Liverpool in sixth. So it looked like, oh my God, we just talked about last week, this league has kind of erupted to life where these little battles are suddenly closer than they might have seen, from what seemed for a while like a dead duck season. West Ham winning again. West Ham really catching up on teams like, Leeds, Spurs, Forest, all down there. Again, looking very, very close all of a sudden. I think the West Ham game for United on Tuesday looks like potentially a tricky one. West Ham are in quite good form. I think between the two teams, we've won 7 of our last 8.
We'll win that. Don't worry about it.
We'll win. Joe says we'll win, folks. Don't worry. It's all good.
Got him.
West Ham, bottlers.
Well, Spurs definitely were. Sorry if there's any Spurs fans listening. Cheers for the free red card from our old bozo captain over there. Very, very helpful for us winning because we didn't look great. But yeah, that's the footy guff for this week. And again, midweek footy, and then unfortunately no Man United match next week because we were too shite and got eliminated from the FA Cup right away. So when people say, well, United's only got one match a week to prepare for, sorry, we actually got 2 weeks this time. So take that.
Plenty of practice.
Yes. Right, I think that is all the live cuff this week, unless I'm missing. Oh, well, we do wrestling news. We're going to go through wrestling news quickly.
Yes, yeah. We have wrestling news this week. It does sort of tie in to a sort of mainstream thing from the news this week. AEW did confirm they will be partnering with the NFL to release luchador masks for every team in the league. And I'm looking at a video right now of Tony Khan looking very quirky as he always looks, holding up one that's looks like sort of like a Blue Demon mask, but with a Jag logo on the side of it. And it's got an NFL logo and an AEW logo. And I guess they'll be making one for all 32 teams.
Tremendous.
That's pretty funny. That's a pretty funny.
I think that's legitimately a very good thing.
Yes, yeah, that's whether I could, I could see American football fans buying this, even if they don't give a fuck about AEW or it's a little bit of exposure for the brand. I mean, he's leveraging that stuff quite well. Obviously, he's got the AEW sponsoring. What is it, like the Fulham women's team?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And those kids are actually really nice. I don't care enough to spend fucking £100 or whatever football jerseys are these days. But yeah, so that's that. We did have there was seriously an AEW moment from this week's TV that did break out into, I would say, real deal kind of mainstream virality, if not mainstream news necessarily. The fuck ice chant during the MJF Brody King, sort of the intro to the match, I guess, rather than the match itself. I don't know, it broke containment, for lack of a better word. And it was a cool moment, and it was interesting to see, and I was glad to see it getting recognition. But then it also spawned a bunch of people go, "Oh, wrestling fans able to read? Is it able to put words together? Oh, I've never seen the likes of it." There was that. There's always that thing whenever a wrestling thing breaks containment like that.
I thought they were the kind of people who shit themselves recording podcasts.
Well, imagine 2 things can be true at once now. 2 things can be true at once. But yeah, that was it was interesting to see a wrestling moment that was very political in a way that was not, embarrassing, or wasn't just certain red-faced, middle-aged men on the news talking about the health agenda and stuff like that. So yeah. But any other notes on this? That was interesting. That was interesting to see it break out.
I thought it was good publicity. Of course, some people weighing in, including Meltzer, being a bit like, well, they don't want to be perceived as like the liberal, Democrat kind of thing. So they already are, for a start. Yes, everyone acts like Tony Khan is like, I don't know, Kamala Harris or something, and he's never expressed any political views. It's just that AEW shows fairest amount of tolerance towards people, whereas WWE does not. So they're kind of automatically painted as like left wing, but they're not really.
No.
No, but I thought it was good. I think it's great, especially like a younger audience is going to be inclined that way anyway. So great. You would probably maybe got a few eyeballs towards it anyway. But yeah, leave it at that. Don't try and capitalize on this moment is done. That was nice.
Yeah.
Move on.
And I would like, it was cool, but I mean, you don't want like, I feel like fans, not to be super cynical, are only going to get their feelings hurt if they get too bought in on this idea that the wrestlers,
like the Hangman,
the wrestlers are their friends, right? Yeah. The Hangman thing was just last week, right? And that's not to say that you can't think this is cool, of course, because it is. But it's just I'm just always cautious of people buying into the idea that the people on the television are my friends, and they'll let me down. If you've been in wrestling, if you've been a fan of wrestling long enough, you've done that dance enough times. Do you know what I mean? But it was cool.
The only thing is,
go on.
I would be worried about Brody King becoming the guy who they chant "fuck ice" every match before his match.
Yeah, and that's wrestling. That's kind of one of the bad things about modern wrestling is this has always been the way, right? Wrestling fans have always been Pavlovian in their responses, but I mean the industry leader WWE led the way, and I think it has trickled down. Wrestlers get a thing, and it might happen spontaneously, and that's cool and interesting, and then it stops being cool. This is to contrast the ice situation with something completely farcical. I was just watching Collision earlier and I was thinking the bald thing. I am already over that. That is this generation's what, but I got sick of it a lot faster. Every single match that has a bald man, which in wrestling is a loss, getting the bald chant. Like I think what felt cool about this moment and what felt it break out was that it did feel spontaneous. It felt like an of the moment visceral reaction from these fans. And then if you don't want it to become the done thing, like singing the song at the end, it becomes a trivial call and response thing, which I think is way less cool.
Singing Cope's entrance music,
yes,
or Jericho's. And
you want to talk about something that was forced? Cope every single time staring out into the audience at the 5-ish people who knew all the words, no matter what town he was in.
Oh, wow, I can't believe this is happening again.
But shades of me singing the national anthem. Honestly, yeah, I know that bit. Honestly, I know that bit.
But I mean, from the point of view of would there actually down the line, if this becomes a really recurring bit, the TBS would we don't want this fella going on the live Dynamite. Put him on Collision where you can edit out the noise if it becomes that consistent.
That'd be an interesting thing to keep an eye on. Yeah, tape show versus live.
I was chanting it. I'll say that much.
Yeah, at your home.
So, yeah, at the TV from my big fat couch in Ireland.
That was it. I don't really think there was any other wrestling news. Obviously, so many comings and goings and contracts and this person and that person all over. I had Clark Connors on Dynamite again this week. I don't know. Are we just pretty much just waiting for that news to break that he's officially there? I don't know. Gabe Kidd as well, another one. Yeah. Just they did. New Japan did announce that Hiromu is officially out. Yeah, Evil is officially out. Sonata is officially out. Sonata's one is a bit weird though because that seems like that's a health issue. That's a ambiguous. He's off, possibly getting some surgery, and we don't know what his time scale is. But yeah, so that
Tanahashi's gone, of course.
Tanahashi is gone, of course. Yeah, but it seems like there's just a lot of people on the bubble there. Sticking with the wrestling, we've got our wrestling features segment, which we kick off with the Fantasy League update here as February.
Well, yeah. I sent to Barry and Joe on Thursday a screenshot to show again how razor close. I think of the 3 years we've done this so far is, I think, the closest. After Wednesday's Dynamite, listeners, there were 4 points between the 3 of us. 97, 99, 101. were the points totals. Not anymore, because Barry got a load of points on Collision. And,
we did get proof. The screenshot was there.
Joe got some points. I didn't get any points on Collision. My lads were off having a fucking snooze or something. I was saying to Joe before we started recording, Barry, my nitpick of the week was when Statlander came out for her little segment with Renee, which we'll talk about later. But then Tekla came out and started hitting her with the strap, setting up the strap match. I was like, that was a good segment. And then Tekla came out again for a match later. I'm like, no, Greedy, you had your little bit already. 4 points for Barry on that one. So where we are currently is I'm in third place on 99. Joe only 2 points ahead on 101. Very close. And I know Joe and myself are going to be cheering on Orange Cassidy and Tony Storm come Grand Slam.
Australia.
Oh, bloody hell, mate. 11 points for Barry with a Ciampa defense, Tekla free match out of nowhere, and a Claudio defeat. So 99 for me, 101 for Joe, and 112 for Barry. So Barry, a little 11-point lead there. But as we know, coming up on Grand Slam, we'll do a little Grand Slam preview later on. But we, of course, have an MJF title defense, potentially in Joe's favor. Orange Cassidy and Tony Storm hopefully going to keep their hair, although I wouldn't be surprised if Tony Storm was like, fucking shave my head, give me a little cue ball head. She sounds like the kind of person who just fucking do that.
Yes, 100%, yes.
Moxley title defense potentially against Takeshita as well. So Grand Slam, keep in mind, Grand Slam already is our first bonus points extravaganza of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Because for Grand Slam, all Grand Slam shows this year, it's 6 points for a win, 3 for a draw, and 2 for a defeat. So even a defeat of Grand Slam gets you 2 points, which is the equivalent of a multi-man tag win. So the points will be flowing come Grand Slam. I'll give you the top 10 rundown here. Top 10 wrestlers in the company. Hangman Page at number 1, 30 points, Team Barry. Number 2, Kevin Knight, Team Joe.
Interesting.
An astute 10th round pick from Joe there, Kevin Knight. He was he would have been the third from last pick of the entire. He would have been picked 28, Kevin Knight. 25 points currently. Number 3, Speedball Bailey. Number 4, Tommaso Ciampa. And number 5, Willow Nightingale, all Team Barry.
Wait, Ciampa's already fucking up there? Wow.
Well, he won the title and defended it. So in 2 matches, he's got 20 points. 6 through 10 are all kind of my guys. Tony Storm, El Clone, who's Tony Storm, Megan Bain, Andrade, who's already up there as well, and Statlander, between 17 and 15 points. I definitely think in retrospect made the right choice with Andrade over Omega. As we saw already on Dynamite this week. Andrade, 4 wins from 4, looking strong. Want to see him get some APV points at some point, but he's resting with the regularity that I was kind of hoping for when I brought him in.
Yeah,
and winning big matches as well. So that's where we kind of sit at the moment. Joe, of course, still yet to make a transfer, but I think so far, the people who come in and look like they might be good earners, namely being Andrade and Ciampa, were both immediately snapped up.
Mm-hmm.
But then Joe, of course, compared to Barry and myself, you haven't had quite the somebody just gets injured or leaves the company moment yet.
Yeah, I haven't had the need. I've thought about it, but I don't want to panic. And I was thinking, should I get rid of the hologram? But I'm like, well, I think hologram will come back, and I think you will get a lot of matches. Cassidy, Okada's. They're all gonna wrestle. It's a long game, lads. We got 10 more months.
Exactly. So that's the Fantasy League update. I did want to have a very small segment. It's a mini explain and I wonder taker brothers discussion. It's like in WWF from 1997 when they would bring out like dwarf versions of the wrestlers. That's what this segment is. Like a mini Undertaker and a mini Wondertaker. Sorry, did I fucking give away the gimmick? And a mini explain. I just want to talk about Darby Allin a little bit. And this is off the back of, again, a Meltzer / Alvarez comment. I'm not sure exactly who made or where it came up. But that Darby Allin's a little bit the Wile E. Coyote of AEW. And what I wanted to specifically discuss off that is, does every single Darby Allin feud have to be he gets dragged behind a car, thrown off a cliff, and put a spike through his head, and, you know, and then he has a match at the end of it? It's like, is there a little bit creeping in, a little bit repetition, too much repetition to Darby Allin's feuds, that they always seem to be to this extreme, and does, by virtue of the fact that they are so frequently, that kind of reduce then the impact when he has a match?
Oh, it definitely reduces the impact. Like, remember when he got thrown down written off TV by being thrown down the stairs.
Yeah,
and we were like, well, he's had worse.
He's very mundane.
He's had worse than that every week this year. Why is that such a big deal?
They had Ethan Page do this stuff to him, who was a mid-carder who's not even in the company anymore. You know,
I do think they should stop or do it less often. Darby just needs something. He needs to win a belt. he's been one of the perennials in AEW, but he's just never been in that title contention. Even if
he had the TNT title briefly,
and it was great. That might have been his peak, other than maybe the Punk stuff. I mean, I think that was 5
years ago, wasn't it? That was 2021.
Yeah. He was a COVID era.
He hasn't held a. Well, it was briefly tag champion, but and
there was a 5 was it Sting
5 years. Like, he should be going after the international or the continental. There's no reason Darby should
winning them, not even going after.
Yeah, it is weird. Absolutely. They introduced yet another title, and they used it as a vehicle for Ricochet, who's been great and who I like and who I think has been a revelation, and all this other stuff. But it's like, you gave Ricochet something unique and interesting to do, whereas Darby is kind of just, especially because it kind of seems like he keeps saying in his promos that he's vanquished the Death Riders, but now he's feuding with their hired goons. Do you know what I mean? Yes. Like Gabe Kidd and Connor's only just showed up, but Kidd was always. This is what makes it kind of funny to me as well. That Kidd's gimmick is that he's like this New Japan. He'll fucking die for New Japan. I'll fucking kill or die for New Japan. And he every opportunity to show up in AEW as a goon who gets beaten up. He can't wait to be there.
I do feel like this time they have specifically differentiated Gabe Kidd from the Death Riders. You know, it is a different thing, but your point still stands. Gabe Kidd is known for being associated.
A low-rung guy in that stable that Darby has vanquished, and it's kind of like, you've kind of gone backwards. Shouldn't you have moved onwards or upwards? Yeah. I don't know. I had the exact same thought watching Dynamite. So I thought the segment was well done, but it was like, yeah, okay, look, you do something like this every week. It's kind of like the thing I'm sure many a time we complained about, where it's just like in big John Cena matches, they would lay such comical beatdowns on him in the gimmick matches on pay-per-view. He would be, put through the ringer and handcuffed and beaten half to death, and then he would just do a 30-second comeback and win. This was the Darby stuff is kind of almost like that concept stretched out. It's like, we know you're just doing all these extravagant angles where he's killed to death fighting these people because they are mid-carders who are not going to beat him. It's feeling a bit rote for sure. Yeah,
the irony of it is that I sometimes wish we would just have a more generic feud for Darby. But yeah, it doesn't always have to be to
Joe's point. I mean, I think you can do this. You can do this stuff. I just don't think you have to do it every single time. I think a good. I think he needs, he could feud with another baby face. He could feud with the Jack Perry and just have a feud where they have a series. Do you know what I mean? Over who's better. Just to break it up a little bit, and then maybe in the summertime you can have to roll over him with a tank.
I was reading Inside the Ropes not this month, but last month, and there was a Mick Foley interview in it where he talks a little bit about the fact that obviously Foley did a lot of things that would be equivalent to Darby in the modern day. That was kind of like, you gotta time out when to do these moments to make them mean the most. Right? And also in terms of who you do them with, right? So to your point about Gabe Kidd and Clark Connors, Barry, if Clark Connors will do this to Darby Allin, what hope does he have against Swerve Strickland?
Right.
MJF? They're like, you're overselling in a sense, right? Mm-hmm. For Clark Connors. What does that mean? You know what I mean? So also...
Yeah, Mick Foley didn't get thrown off a cage by Savio Vega.
Precisely. Yeah.
You can rip that together for the artwork. That'll do. Just little Savio up the top. Just small, so you can't even really see who it is. It just looks like the classic image.
But I think there's something to that as well. And yeah, Darby, it does seem like there's not a lot of picking the spots. It's just whoever I'm doing it with, I'm doing the fucking drag me to the desert in a body bag or in a car. And it's always that.
And I do think they've kind of realized that, and I don't even necessarily disagree with this. I don't think they see him as a world title guy, which we're big fans of Darby here, and I think he's certainly a star and an important part of the company. But I kind of agree with as well, and it's kind of like there kind of wasn't really anywhere to go after the Death Riders thing, because I think we're kind of confident enough in saying now that I don't think they're ever going to. Unless it's some kind of Foley-esque couple of days thing.
That's what I think would suit him.
Yeah, I think they could do it
like
once.
A transitional champion once or twice, as he beats the big hill but then loses it.
He may have been a more interesting transitional champion than Samoa Joe this recent time.
Certainly, yeah, for sure. No, it's interesting. Yeah, he'll be one to keep an eye on for the rest of this year. I don't think I need to see him back in a body bag again for this calendar year.
Yeah, unless it's after being thrown off the cage by Savio Vega.
Quite Savio Vega, of course. That was a little mini explaining Wondertaker, a little classic feature, CSP feature. Yeah.
Have we got a little quizzy?
Well, we might have a little quiz here. Let's just have a look, see what we got in the cupboard. Oh, it's the return of
Go on. Take two.
It's the return of, I keep wanting to say Orly instead of Oney. It's the return of Oney Lorcanecct. It's what's like Only Connect, but not the same.
Hang on. It's legally distinct.
Look, the New York Times can rip it off, so can we. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a quiz that where you get a sequence of things, 4 things, and you have to tell me the connection between those 4 things. If you get it after 1, you get 4 points. After 2, 3, etc., etc. If you don't get it, your opponent can steal for 1 little point. Okay.
Lovely. I love it.
Who wants to go first?
Who wants to do Raw? I'll go first. That's
all right. Paul's going first. Okay.
Let's get my notepad out.
Here we go. Get your notepad out. Yeah. Okay. First sequence.
Yes.
Chris Jericho and Maurice Vachon.
Chris Jericho and Maurice Vachon. So number 1 is both of those.
Yes. Chris Jericho and Maurice Vachon.
Okay, is it why both of them though? That's the thing that's catching me out.
Wow.
Wow. No, I'm gonna need to take the second one.
Second one? Okay. Yeah. Ali Singh and Rick Steiner.
Ali Singh, not Tiger Ali Singh, just Ali Singh.
Ali Singh and Rick Steiner.
Okay. Maurice Vachon. See, with Jericho and Vachon, I was thinking there was going to be some Canadian connection.
Yeah.
So Vachon is Canadian. Ali Singh and Rick Steiner. What would the connection be there? Chris, Maurice. Whew. I like these because there's clearly some thought put into them, so I'm give a soft for the cap to Joe already. I've just started the quiz here. No, I'm still not saying. I'll need the third one, please, Joe.
Third one, Ernie Ladd and Sylvester Ritter.
Sylvester Ritter. Okay. Is it to do with cartoons? Is because early on I'm thinking is cat, and Sylvester is a prominent cat cartoon. Mm-hmm. So is it a relation between a wrestler and a cartoon character?
It's not.
Okay. Give me the fourth
Not
one.
the final one. Ernst Miller and Davy Boy Smith.
Oh, is it Cats and Dogs?
It's Cats and Dogs. Yes. There you go.
Yeah, of course. Because Jericho, Lionheart, Maurice Vachon.
Mad Dog, Maurice Vachon, Tiger Ali Singh, Dogface Brennan, Rick Steiner, Ernie the Cat Lad, and Sylvester Ritter.
I don't know.
Junkyard Dog.
Oh, Junkyard Dog. Okay.
Very good. Very good.
Okay, 1 point for Paul. I like that one. Very good.
Okay, over to you, Barry.
Okay.
First one. War.
Previous name relating to previous names of current TV shows.
No, incorrect. Second one, Dream.
I don't know if there's a War Gate. Are these prefaces for Dragon Gate titles?
Incorrect. Kingdom.
I know.
Is it words from Cody Rhodes' theme song?
No.
Oh, I know it for sure.
All right, well, it's got one more, Paul.
I know.
Final one. So we've had War, Dream, Kingdom, and Mania.
Oh, event names with the wrestle preface.
That is correct, yes.
Wrestle War, Wrestle Dream, yeah, of course.
Wrestle Kingdom, WrestleMania, of course.
Yes.
Okay,
I like the Cody Rhodes Dream and Kingdom there. But,
definitely wrong. But
it was a coincidence, but yeah, it was good.
Yeah. Okay. Oh no, you planned that, Joe. You're good.
No, I planned that.
It was like Wordle. It was like the little fake outs in Wordle.
Yeah. Okay. Back to Paul for number 3. Invasion.
Okay, well, there's one very, very famous invasion. 2001. Let me throw out a wild one. Is it pay-per-views main evented by multi-man tag matches?
No, that's not correct.
That's a great guess.
That's a good guess.
It's what it might be.
Good, but it's not right. Number 2, Breaking Point.
Okay, well, these are both one-time ever pay-per-views, I believe. They were going to do, obviously, the NXT invasion. That never happened. Breaking Point, I feel like they only ever did once. I'll throw that in as my guess. One-time only pay-per-view titles.
Okay, so the next would be Roadblock. And the final one, One Night Only. Yes, you're correct.
Well
3 points.
Yes.
One time only pay-per-view names, yes. The WWF pay-per-view names especially.
Yeah.
Okay, back to Barry. First one, Cosmic Matter.
Matter. Space. Chris Statlander move names.
A very good guess, not correct. Second one, Attractive Confidence.
Chris Statlander attributes. What was it? What was that second one again?
Attractive Confidence.
Okay, is it? Okay, I feel like this is. Okay, so attractive confidence. Is it like nicknames where you've used pseudonyms for the words?
I need something more specific.
Names of people where you've used pseudonyms. You've swapped you've swapped the words in someone's nickname for a similar enough.
I think that's the format, but not the answer.
Okay,
I can't give it to you. I have to give you the next one.
Okay,
I think I know this one as well, Barry. Just put the pressure on you.
Oh dear, he's really winding you up now.
I am, but I think I do know it.
Number 3, International Postgraduates.
Yeah.
Is it? International postgraduate. I've no fucking idea. Oh God, is it event names where you're using pseudonyms?
No. I'll give you the last one. You might get it from this. Bad Yankee Dreams.
Yeah, like American Nightmare there, but I don't know what the.
So you had Cosmic Matter, Attractive Confidence, International Postgraduates, and Bad Yankee Dreams.
I can only think of the ones I've previously said. If it's not nicknames rearranged with pseudonyms, I don't know.
Well, I need something specific.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes nicknames.
Yeah,
he's got it.
He's got it. Yes.
Yes, nicknames done with pseudonyms.
No.
But that's because that's the format of the clues. That's not the.
Yeah, it's obvious that that's what it is. You have to work all.
Not cosmic.
Oh, wow.
Stardust. Come on, I'm not shaving my hair until I get a result on this. Come on.
No, I think I'm with Joe now.
Of course you are.
No, but I think that's.
You had to figure out what I was describing. That was cosmic matter. Like, what is
Stardust? Attractive confidence.
Anyway, let's move on because Barry's upset. Don't upset Barry. Back to Paul.
Yes.
So the first one, 2025.
Is it, well, I'm going to do a joke answer, but I didn't want it to be taken as my actual answer.
Do it actually. Yeah, do it.
Is it years in which I didn't shit myself? 2025. Let me think. 2025. Is it years in which an all-in event was held?
Incorrect. Second one, 9/17.
9/17. Okay. So I'm guessing that would be the 17th of September. What would have happened on the 17th? In September 2025. Let me think. 9/17. No, nothing's coming to me. I'm struggling to even think what show All Out maybe was All Out last year. Kyle Fletcher main event, but why are we looking at fucking dates here or numbers at least, not even dates? I don't know. I'll say the time exactly that the main event of All Out ended.
No. Third one, 26/15.
2025. Okay, I'm actually going to split that into 2025, 9/17, 26/15. Nope. Unlike the Cody Rhodes one just now, I am not seeing this one.
No, it's so obvious.
Is this exchanging numbers for wrestlers? Or something?
No. Okay, final one.
Yeah.
97, 98, 1.
Oh, is this? Is it? Hang on. Let me just think for a second. I'm guessing this is like years that multiple Royal Rumble winners won the Royal Rumble on those years.
That is correct. Yes. So that was a tough one, but well done.
Yeah, 2020 and 2025. 2009 and 2017.
Yes, 2026 and 2015, Roman Reigns.
Yeah, and then Stone Cold.
1997, 1998, and 2001.
So hang on, let me hear you. 2009 and 2017 would be like
Orton.
Edge. 9 and 17?
Yeah, it was Orton.
Orton, and then 20 and 25. Charlotte Flair. Okay, that's interesting.
It's a tricky one.
That's
a good name. I got it. You got it.
I like it.
Okay, back to Barry. So it's currently 5-2 to Paul, but plenty of opportunity here. Gorilla Monsoon.
People with parts of the wrestling world named after them.
It's a good guess, but it's not right.
Well, is Johnny Apron going to come up here next?
Well, I mean,
I was thinking the same.
Back in the Pittsburgh territory in the 40s, there was, of course, Jimbo Turnbuckle.
Steve Ramp.
Steve
with the artwork sorted, there's an episode name.
Song.
Steve Ramp. Oh,
okay, second one. Giant Baba.
I don't even know if this is accurate, but Booker of the Year winners.
It's not correct. Number 3, Rick Rude.
Jeez, I have no idea. I'm thinking like. No idea.
Okay, final one for 1 point. Owen Hart.
I was thinking for the preview. I was like something passed prematurely or had tribute shows or something like that. People who had wrestling shows dedicated to them after they passed.
I mean, I think there's a lot of people who could be in that.
I know, but
it's not. I don't think I can give it to you.
What is
Paul,
it?
Do you want to have a guess? For one
is it like tournaments dedicated to them?
No, you were very close, Barry, but I was looking for. They all died in the same year, 1999.
Oh, really? Okay,
yeah.
Wow, interesting. Okay,
yeah,
I didn't
so all four deaths in the same year, so couldn't quite give you that. We'll go back to Paul.
Yeah.
The Warlord.
The Warlord. Not to be confused with Wardlow, which is our...
The Wardlow.
Wardlow. Warlord is almost an acronym of Wardlow, actually. The Warlord. Is it Big Beefy Man?
Oh, you'd love that, wouldn't you? No, it's not. Number 2, Marlena.
Okay, well, that's obviously herself. Marlena Terry Runnels of Goldust fame. Could be a Terry thing, maybe. I don't know about the Wardlow. I keep on the Wardlow. I don't know about the Wardlows. I know Wardlow's name is Michael, I think. I don't know the Warlord's real name.
Michael Warlord.
Michael Warlord. Yeah, I'll try a guess. Is it Wrestling Terry's?
That is correct, Paul.
Oh,
so you get 3. You get 3 points. Yes. So the next one.
What's the Warlord's name?
Terry Spazinski. Yeah, number 3 was Hulk Hogan, and number 4, Terry Funk. So they're all Terrys or Terrys or Terrences.
I would have taken the Warlord for a Terry Sapinski, to be honest. He looks like what would his name? If I would come up with a shoot government name for the Warlord, I'd call him Butch Machio.
Okay, final one. So you can't win, Barry, but you can recover a little bit of pride here. Number 1, Texas Cloverleaf.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's too obvious to be moves with names in it. If the first one's Texas Cloverleaf, I would say. Boston Crab variants.
No, that's not correct.
Ooh, very good.
Number 2, Death Valley Driver.
Okay, maybe it is moves named after places.
It's not.
Okay. Let's hit you with the old fakey.
You're the old red herring. You should have gone first. Third one, Frog Splash.
Texas Cloverleaf, Death Valley Driver. Dean Malenko moves. I don't know.
No, can't take it. Number 4, Crippler, Crossface.
Okay, Radicals moves.
Yeah, the finishing moves of the 4 Radicals. So you get a point there.
I could have gotten that.
Barry. You were close on some of those. You were very close, but yeah, ultimately, it is 8 points to Paul and 3 points to.
If you instead of Death Valley Driver, if you had said 3, what was it called? 3-handle Moss family credenza or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Maybe.
What's that? A fucking Zack Sabre move named after some idols?
Kelly Saturn's finish was called that.
Alrighty, well done, Joe, or well done, Paul. Right? Well done, Joe, for making it really good.
I think Oney Lorcanecct is our best quiz.
I like Oney Lorcanecct. Yeah, it's good.
I think we need to do that more often. I like great decision by Joe to kickstart that quiz.
Mm-hmm.
I think in terms of interesting like questions and creativity in terms of the quiz,
you can play along at home.
Yeah, and I'm sure they are.
I think I like that one a lot.
Which wrestler won the Royal Rumble last week? None of us would know, so it actually would be a good quiz.
And it was, hang on, I do know this one. It was, tries to remember.
Roman Reigns.
And then I'm trying to, I was doing a bit where I was going to, like, I don't remember, and then I legitimately. And the women's one was won by.
Oh, that I have no idea.
Alexa Bliss.
No,
Lyra Valkyries.
Liv Morgan won the
Liv Morgan, that's what I meant.
There you go. See, I know this stuff.
Wait, was it Liv Morgan?
Yes. Liv Morgan won.
Oh, fuck, I thought it was Alexa Bliss.
No.
They look a bit the same.
Yeah.
Telly then.
Telly for the week. Another great week of TV for AEW, in my opinion.
More so Dynamite. The Collision was a little.
I liked Collision, but Dynamite was definitely a great show.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to get too into the weeds on the opening segment. Dynamite does these.
I tell you what I liked.
What? Don Callis losing his chewing gum.
Well, again, was it chewing gum or was it his teeth that week?
Was it?
Yeah.
Denture for
it was a denture. On Botchamania they had like a slowed down version of it. It's not a full like granny set of teeth, but when people are missing 1 or 2 teeth, they have like the full thing they put to the roof of the mouth. That kind of, I think, was that. No, I like that they did the old Collision interview, the like 4 or 5 lads and women.
Yeah, I like
the
that.
main matches. So it goes to MJF in the back, and Brody King in the back, and Omega in the back, and Don Callis.
I like that.
I would do that every week. I think that's a more interesting version of WWE's 15-minute montage of people arriving to the building. So I would keep doing that. And then we had a, Death Riders, Don Callis family multi-man match, which was good, but was kind of the ilk that we're kind of used to see now. So it didn't pull anything emotionally out of me.
Oh. Good action. Don Callis family winning, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, you got to give Takeshita a bit of a buzz prior to the match with Mox. So I expected he was going to get the win here, and he did.
And they Mox was good on commentary. Takeshita went out and they kind of exchanged their words and whatnot. Yeah, this is good stuff. We had Swerve Strickland pre-tape. This is one thing I really like about AEW currently. I feel like this show was very focused booking wise, and lots of very straightforward booking, and lots of good video packages outlining where all the characters are and things like that, which I enjoyed. So we got a double whammy here. We got a Swerve video, and then we got a Will Ospreay update basically from his hospital bed, effectively.
Interesting.
Which was very good video to kind of make people sympathetic to him, and just remember, hey, Will Ospreay, remember him, and all this other stuff. So that was good. We got 2 matches on Dynamite and Collision. We basically got the people in the hair match squashing people in mixed tags. Tony Storm and Orange Cassidy defeated Jordan Oasis and Brittany Brooks. Folks, the most American spelling of a name you've ever seen. BRITTNIE. Brittany Brooks. So there you go. So the baby faces won. There you go. I
did like after the match that kind of during the match, right? Orange Cassidy is wrestling Jordan Oasis, and Orange Cassidy touches this fella's head, And he touches his own head, and the realization starts to kick in that he might not be Orange Cassidy much longer. He might be Ball Cassidy, Cue Ball Cassidy.
Yeah, they did a promo after this where they basically just talk about how much they don't want to be bald and how disgusting it is to be bald, while Luther looked sad in the background, which was the best use of Luther in ages. Tony was very funny here, I would say.
They should have a match between two shaven head wrestlers where the loser has to grow their hair out. Just to not be such a, what's his anti-bald agenda?
Yeah.
You know, as someone with a receding hairline, I feel personally attacked by this. But yeah, funny stuff. I like that they had a little crisis of confidence.
Yeah, which is good. And as we talked about during the fantasy segment, I mean, I was watching Collision with the wife, and then I was explaining the stiff to her, and she went, "Oh, well, of course you." And I was like, "Yeah, that's what most people are assuming." But she also had the same thought. I was like, she also can't, you can't assume Tony Storm wouldn't do it for a laugh,
Yeah. I
think there's a bit of intrigue in that match. I think Cassidy has like a 0% chance. I don't think they'd shave Cassidy's head. I think if you were a betting man, which seems like everyone is these days, Yuta would be who you'd be putting the money on. But I think there's a non-0% chance either of the women get their head shaved. I could see them both going for it.
Yeah.
We had the aforementioned Darby Allin stuff with Gabe killing Shark Connors. Adam Page defeated Mark Davis, so kind of nice to see Davis in a slot here after the thing last week with the Turner. Good match, and not a whole lot. The crowd was really good here in this Vegas taping, but I don't think they really bought into Davis given his push. But it's good stuff. One with shot lariat. So this was again, this kind of wacky. I really like this thing they're doing where they've got all these people vying for the belts, but by eating Mark Davis, Hangman now faces the winner of Kenny versus Andrade. I'm like, wait, Andrade's putting people away left, right, and center, and Hangman beats Mark Davis.
Yeah, I had to say in Philly, but to play devil's advocate here, right? Kenny Omega was the same thing, right? Kenny Omega beat Rocky Romero, and then right. You then were still the winner of Swerve and Andrade. It's like, well, give Swerve and Andrade tomato cans to beat. But to play devil's advocate, Andrade has never held the world title.
Fair.
Omega, Swerve, and Hangman is the most recent world champion. So it feels like they're working their way back through, Omega held the world title but long ago, Swerve more recently, and Hangman more recently than that. So I'm jumping through hoops a little bit here, but I can feel to work out in my own head canon, my own head logic, a way that, okay, I can understand why Hangman might, for example, get a buy of sorts by virtue of the fact that he is the most recent champion prior to the current.
Yeah, and I think that's fine. I think so long as you can, without bending over backwards, so long as you can justify those things, I think that's fine. We got another video package for Kevin Knight, kind of put a big emphasis on him beating Okada and stuff like that. Again, just really good stuff, emphasizing who these people are, getting their characters over and stuff like that. It was all perfectly solid. We did get Andrade defeated Kenny Omega in similar fashion to last week. Kind of the ref got a little bit distracted, a quickie low blow, and then hit the DM to win. I mean, I said this last week, but I like that they're like, he's cheating, obviously. It's not like a clean win. They've kind of simplified, they've kind of gotten away from, oh, well, this guy comes in and he throws the screwdriver and the ref gets distracted, and then, Callis then gets up on the apron, and then what happens is Okada gets in and he aims for Kenny, but actually he hits Andrade. Then Andrade kicks out at 2, and then Callis is back up on the apron. Like, they've gotten away from all of that.
Yeah, it's a smart straightforward.
And this match was really good. Again, Kenny looking good, doing really well here, and Andrade, performance-wise, he's been really good, and again, to speak to how kind of focused the booking type of thing I kind of always harping on here is they have not taken their foot off the pedal with this guy. So even though I would assume he's losing to Hangman, he's come out of the gates here with 2 huge wins on Dynamite in really good matches. And I think regardless of what they do next with him, he's firmly established as a high mid-card guy who can beat top level guys. I really like that. And it would have been very easy to, it's Kenny Omega and it's Swerve, so we have to do 5 minutes of antics before Andrade wins. They got too into that mindset last year, and I think they're really just being a bit more ballsy, I would say, with their results here.
Yeah, and you don't have to protect Swerve or Omega to any great degree. They're made, right? Swerve Strickland can slot into a main event, pay-per-view main event, just lickety split. But yeah, the alternative that I would have expected in past years, Andrade comes in, wrestles Magnus on Collision, and then proceeds to do that for 7 months.
Right.
This is okay. Get this guy is class. He looks class. He wrestles class. Let's get him to, get the wheels spinning here, and he beats Swerve, beats Omega. So yeah, to me, again, this guy is made, and I would, barring him beating Hangman, which I don't anticipate, I would get this guy into a top level feud, maybe against Swerve, or maybe it's Swerve and Omega, given that he's beat both of them. Maybe they have an axe to grind. Mm-hmm. Get something spinning there.
I do have a Barry's Paul's nitpick of the week, though. I think in classic wrestling fashion, you're making the Andrade women thing too obviously fake.
Yeah.
I would stop. Like the first week, it was very funny and everyone was very excited about it. It was great. You've now done two really obvious, like we've set it up to look like that's spontaneously happening again. That is textbook wrestling, running something into the ground. I would not do it again. I would stop there. It's done. You've done it 3 times. Maybe it'll happen again in the future. Maybe it won't. But the last thing you want to see is this just transparently obvious. Because I think what people liked about the first thing was that it felt spontaneous and it felt like a thing the crowd were reacting to in a very fun, spontaneous way. And there's nothing worse than wrestling than obvious plans. Everyone hates the spot with obvious plans. It's so funny. So I would nip that in the bud. You're doing great stuff with Andrade. I would.
It's funnier if send one of the the little plebs out who collects the wrestler's coat when they throw it on the floor during their entrance. Send someone out and have them scope the ring and go. There's 3 or 4 women who are in the big side that Andrade can organically kind of come up and go, hey, look at my big muscles.
Yeah. The going up to like 5 obvious models sitting front row. It's giving when Hogan took over TNA and they paid models to sit in the front row. I'm like, Terry, I know what the TNA audience looks like. All right, don't fucking yank my chain, brother. Okay, don't fucking give me this. So anyway,
yeah.
We got a Brody video package. We got Big Stat teasing the stipulation for Tekla, which we got in Collision.
Here's my nitpick.
Go on.
Of both shows, because these shows were both taped Wednesday night.
That's right.
So we spend time here with Slander going, there is a stipulation. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but you'll find out on Collision. That's okay, no problem. And then on Collision, they do 2 segments where they set up a strap match. So Stylander comes out, Tekla attacks her, hits her with a strap. And then Tekla comes out for a match and hits Brittany Brooks also with a strap. Okay, could we not have, instead of doing an interview here, set up the strap match on Dynamite, and then on Collision have Tekla comes out for her match and attacks your one with the strap, now that kind of has been established. Just feels like with the 4 hours they had, they maybe, for one reason or another, had to move some segments around and ultimately ended in a layout that doesn't, in retrospect, really make full sense. I think you could have had here easily, Stylander come out, Tekla attacks her, because that segment didn't go long on Collision anyway. Tekla attacks her, hits her with a strap. Stylander goes, "Oh, you're all people with straps, are you? Okay, you and me are having a strap match." That's it. Nice and quick. And then you could give a few more minutes to win matches on Collision and not have to do the segment there as well. So yeah, weird the way they did it. I'm looking forward to the match nevertheless. I just think that they could have been a bit more effective with their time here.
We got Mega Bad. You want to take another pass on that name, Phil? That's not good.
No. It's better than what I came up with, which was Megapoli Board.
It is better than that. Yes, it is better than
which
that.
is what they typically would do, where it's half of one name and half of the other, and then half of the surnames. Mega bad. So we got mega bad, mega problems, Megasus.
Yeah. We all was it on this show? The trios champions, Chris and Lufel, Jet Set Rodeo.
Jet Set Rodeo. Yeah.
It's a bit cutesy, isn't it? It's a bit
weird
for a world title level guy like Hanger. Remember the Dreamcast? Yeah, I do, mate. Cheers. Mega Bad defeated the Babes of Wrath in an eliminator match.
Yes, they sure did. That was one of them.
So that's interesting. Yeah, I don't see them winning, but that's a good setup for their first challenge.
I don't know what's funny as well on this one, on the finish. So again, I was watching Botchamania, and they had the bit from one of the WWE shows, I forget which one it was, where Big Braun Steiner, I forgot. Oh God, my breaker. My memory is that poo incident has affected me more than I ever thought possible. Where Braun Breaker was clotheslined off Cody Rhodes' shoulders doing the Doomsday device and just like shoot landed on his head. And and I was again reading about this inside the ropes as well. They said, well, Cody Rhodes, why didn't you just do an electric chair like back bump? Surely if you're doing the Doomsday device, that's the safest way to do it, right? That's the way, in my mind. I don't think doing the Doomsday device with the rest on the shoulders takes this crazy dangerous back bump, and the rest just remain standing there. From a viewer point of view, it doesn't look way better to do it that way than like here Megan Bain just took the electric chair, like back bump, which is much safer, surely, from a wrestling point of view. And then I was watching the parking lot brawl on Collision, and they threw wrestling lads on the shit on the concrete. I'm like, oh, God. Deary me. But yeah, very happy to see Mega Bain. Give Mega Bad the Mega Reign, please. Yes, I'm all for that. Well, apparently they're getting their title shot at Grand Slam Australia as well. So that show is
they bloated it up. Yeah.
Stacked.
Tommaso Ciampa issued a challenge for Collision, and about half a second after it was over, Tony Schiavone said that they were having a way on Collision, which was a bit quick, but whatever.
Did we talk about this last week? The fact that they do that way too often.
Yes.
Something happens, or some decision is made, and we're like immediately going, I'm hearing from Tony. Yeah. Like give it 10 minutes. Announce that at the end of the Ricochet Jack Perry.
Yes. Yeah, which happened next. Ricochet did defeat Jack Perry. Good match. I mean, it's tough to care about Perry. It is. But it's perfectly solid wrestling. Hawks and the GOA got involved. So there you go. So that paid off obviously on Collision.
Yes.
And then we got our world title match, which again, as I was saying earlier, a very, very ballsy move there. They had Hanger come out after the bell rang to distract MJF. Brody caught him in the sleeper, hit him with a cannonball in the corner, Gonzo bomb, and pinned him 1, 2, 3 in the middle, about 30 seconds, 60 seconds thereabouts, to earn his shot at Australia, which I thought was a very interesting way to do it. It's basically a squash, silly distraction finish, maybe a little bit silly, but I guess, giving Brody a bit of credit. Again, a fairly obvious challenger of the week type situation, but they've done a very good job getting him into the reasonable doubt category. And, the story of this is kind of like if MJF takes his eye off the ball for 2 seconds, Brody will beat him, handily, so,
2 eliminator matches where the challengers won as well.
Good, yeah. Help get that concept over as a thing where, the champions at risk. Yeah. So good stuff. Really good Dynamite.
Yeah, then we had a little schmoz to show. Andrade rushed out and they're all tapping each other.
I like that we're getting what we've been asking for 2 years, which is just have all the top people wrestle each other on TV.
Yeah.
Instead of squash matches and jobbers. So
these last 4 weeks, Dynamite has been that.
Dynamite's been excellent. It really has. And again, the show feels focused. It feels like we're really getting behind people we need to get behind. It still has its cutesy elements, which is fine. You don't need to eradicate that stuff, but it's very well balanced, I would say.
Very little on this show that I would cut.
No, absolutely. Collision, as Paul mentioned earlier, not an essential collision, but I thought it was an enjoyable enough watch. Number one contenders match, the Young Bucks.
No, qualifier for the number one contenders match.
Pardonnez-moi, s'il vous plaît. This was to move on to a multi-man on Dynamite. Which, unless I'm mistaken, the other people in the match were already just in it. There was
it's
the Young Bucks from this, the Rascals,
not Radicals. They're in the quiz earlier,
and TBA,
and a wildcard team, which could go one of two ways. Either we're getting the big Cope and Christian return on a random 3-way tag match on a Dynamite.
That'd be very wacky.
Or we're getting the big Acclaimed reunion, which is going to be a fart when they're announced as a wild card.
As a TBA, that would be...
Or it'll be some debuting team, which I can't think of a single team
who would that even
out
be?
there who would be.
Yeah. Keep in mind, they just signed Alec Price and Jordan Oliver. Those are the free agent teams out there, you know.
You know what I mean? So I'm building myself up for that wild card team to be a... moment, as opposed to, oh my god, they're back, or they're debuting, like, oh, the Acclaimed, or oh, it's Sammy Guevara and the Beast Mortos, something like that. You know what I mean?
Oh, no.
I think the Acclaimed for me it's like 66% chance it'll be the Acclaimed.
I didn't even think about that, but yeah, it's on the table.
So
it's on the table.
It's not going to be the Road Warriors. So what you're saying?
I don't think so.
Well, unfortunately, those brothers are in the road at this stage.
Yeah.
So,
Young Bucks beat the GOA. Good match. I like the GOA. Long match, I will say. This was kind of a collision match where
it was a little long.
It was a little long, but it was good stuff. And the Bucks were, the Bucks were they were the Bucks. They had a good competitive match with you guys.
They sure did.
FTR came out and basically said it's going to be the Bucks versus the FTR. This felt like.
They said it's been long enough. Can we do this again? Yeah, fuck it.
The one thing I am interested in is they haven't done it with the FTR as a heel for quite a while. Since the first one, in fact, the first one was that, and that was the best one. So FTR on the run of their life. So if they can finally have a great match with the Bucks, it would be now.
Yes.
We got some the video package from Brody from Wednesday talking about his win. Renee was out there with Stat to reveal the stip. She got jumped by the Sisters of Sin. That's what they're called? Triangle of Madness? Yes, Triangle of Madness.
Sisters of Sin. Yeah. Sisters of Sin. We're here for the win.
Yeah, Sisters of Sin. We're here for the win. Renee Scarpered, and just classic wrestling fashion. When someone's about to announce a stipulation, the heel comes out and beats down the babyface. I've got a straw. I've got my belt here. I guess I'll just whip you. So beat the shit out of her. To be fair, whipped the fucking shit out of her. Big Tech put the beat down on Stat Daddy, who then grabbed the mic, called her a stupid bitch, and said that she gets to meet Straplander. So it's going to be a strap match on Wednesday, which I'll be locked in on. I think that's going to be great.
I love that Statlander had the pun ready to go. So
yes, very good.
What if Tekla came out with a coal miner's glove instead of a strap, for example? What would she say then?
I'm going to beat you down with this casket, like I'm playing SmackDown 2. We had another one of these segments where Okada was like schmoozing Kyle Fletcher. So I think the idea here is that we're in a weird way, we are still sowing dissent because he's being like kind of patronizing, I guess.
Yeah.
He's like, he's like, oh, I want you to be a champion again. Why don't you focus on maybe getting your TNT title back? And then he starts to walk away, but he turns around and says, Frodo Okada. It's very funny.
I do love this new thing of, and I again, in my headcanon, it's a specific dig at Andrade. O'Connor's doing these like freaking 5-minute long English soliloquies now in his promos, perfectly able for it. By the way. His English, Okada, I don't know, did he suddenly install Duolingo or something? But his English is really good all of a sudden.
I think he's been like secretly a pretty decent English speaker for ages. I think, I think he has.
No, I mean, but even when he came into AEW initially, he would have like 2 or 3 lines, and one of those lines would be "bitch."
I wonder, was that adjusting to, oh shit, I'm on American TV now and I have to say things in general in English? I
don't know, but he's doing like these long, solo promos. While Andrade is still taking a minute to say 4 words.
Yeah, this was very much like he went up to Kyle Fletcher and was like, I would like to address the matter of the jokes about my comically large hand. The first of it was in 1952. In the most collision match of all time, Kevin Knight defeated Scorpio Sky about 500 times longer than it needed to be for Scorpio Sky in Big 2026.
Yeah.
They all shook hands afterwards because they're baby faces. Hook is the new boss of the Ox. I hope you like being on Collision, buddy, because this unit, which is now down 2 wrestlers and is led by Hook, I'm not expecting them to be tearing it up on Dynamite anytime soon. Mina Shirakawa defeated Viva Van. This was no bueno at all. No bueno at all. I haven't seen much of Viva Van before, but it was rough going, this match. Shirakawa was walking to the back, and then the Death Riders made their entrance for their match. So kind of staring her, kind of giving her the evils. And that segued into kind of the second half of what we talked about on Dynamite. Shafir and Yuta defeated Zeta Steel and Dante Martin. So they got some like more credible opponents, I guess, versus the baby faces. After the match, of course, they teased shaving Zeta Steel's head, and the baby faces Storm and Cassidy came out.
And Mox was all, even Mox, who said on commentary, was all scared of it. And I was like, oh, we need, before it's all said and done, before they ride off into the sunset, we need a Mox Tony Storm death match.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if one more multi-person affair on the books where the two of them can mix it up.
Whenever those two are in the, it doesn't happen very often, whenever those two are in the ring together, it's Dynamite. Even just a little promo. Jonathan, my dear boy. Jonathan. Class.
We had an extremely funny segment where Alex Windsor and Jamie Hayter were pounding pints at the bar. And Alex Windsor goes, and then I says, who do you think you are? You ain't my mother. And then Jamie Hayter goes, and I bet then she said, yes, I am. So we're doing 2000s EastEnders bits on and then I have to assume an American doing a bad accent comes up to them and says, all right, loves, you fancying a bit of a brawl or something? He came with some stupid shit. I don't know what this was. And they went, that's it. That's what we'll be called. We're the bloody brawling birds, we is.
Brawling birds.
So that's their stable name, or their team name, I guess. This was very much Bart and Homer watching Britain's longest running sitcom. You don't have the cobbles. That's what this was. This was so ridiculous, but it was fun. And if anyone has to unseat the Babes of Wrath, I think it should be them. Another one of your MJF angry promos after he loses. It was pretty good. We had the aforementioned Paul talked there about the segment. Tekla squashed Brittany Brooks, started to whip her. So there you go. Good John Moxley promo on Takeshita. So that's setting up that match.
Yes, sir. They showed clips of a very young, very thin Takeshita.
Yeah.
Looking like Kyle Fletcher from 2019. And
Mox highlighted his earlier wins over him. So Takeshita is over Mox, I should say. So that was good.
Yeah.
Then we had the 8-man parking lot fight, which was like shot on like the roof of some kind of parking lot. You could see like the Vegas skyline. It was really cool.
Palms.
But I thought this was completely sauceless as far as these goes. I mean, the previous ones of these have been so good, and they felt like really I mean, that first one was really that was like when you're like, oh man, not only is there someone doing decent COVID era wrestling, they're like actually excelling and doing really cool stuff. This was 8 lads walking around a small stretch of concrete, doing walk and ball, attitude era walk and ball, and pulling each other's hands. It was long. It wasn't good. They did a bit where one of the rascals threw Brian Keys in the back of a limo, and it's good you passed that shit. And then they got out of the limo, and the rascal was like lightweight, and Brian Keys got out of choking like he was unable to handle his weed.
This just reminds me of what the whole rascals thing reminds me of, which is Scary Movie, where Ghostface like smokes weed and goes, "Oh, high on the weed, bro." Yes, it is. And he's with what's his name, the Wyans, and they're like, "Oh, that's the weed, bro." It's like, is that where they got the gimmick from? Was it scary? They saw Scary Movie as a kid, and
26 years ago, folks.
Like, yeah, we need to. Yeah.
Well, they are old enough that they would have been like, themselves 26 when that movie came out.
But yeah, I just I mean, I don't know if did you both watch Collision?
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of thought it was just nothing, to be honest.
Yeah, I have a specific nitpick about it, which is that I don't like Eddie Kingston's new gimmick that he actively wrestles like he's tired and shit.
Yeah, like he was coming in like swinging things. I think he was kind of going for like I'm crazy, I'm wild, but it kind of felt like they would beat him down, and then there would be flashes where the heels would be on top, but then he'd come in swinging stuff. But it just looked like he was just kind of going through the motions. I liked Isla Dawn nearly killing one of the baby faces with whatever that thing was she swung when she I can't remember who that was. It Ortiz? I didn't even see what it was, but she basically came out of hiding somewhere to assist the heels and just cracked Ortiz over the head with something. I didn't see what it was. And then she was mouthing off very Scottishly, and they had to do a spot where they took her out, but of course it's still kind of like, okay, well, the baby faces can't like pile drive this woman on the concrete, right? They can't. So like one of the rascals picks her up and like throws her in the back of a people carrier and then just closes the door. Like, oh, that was lame. Why can't she get out? But of course, like they couldn't like kill her with a tire iron. Another unfortunate bump in the road in this Kingston comeback era. I think
there's too many people in this match.
Too many people.
Too focused. If you have two teams, I think that already borders on too many people. But for the start of the match, but like 8 of them, and so as you said, most of it was just walk and punch, walk and brawl. And then every now and then they would do a move on the car. Yeah, it just felt like it went on forever. Not great.
Yeah. And then we went to our main event, which was Ciampa defeating Roderick Strong and Claudio in a 3-way for the TNT title. Great entrance on Ciampa. They've got the star presentation down, to be fair.
Yes.
Looking great, and the match was all action. The match was a great 3-way. I mean, I'm kind of over that style of match, but this was a very fun one. All action, hard hitting, and yeah, I heard 2 thumbs up on Ciampa. So fair.
Yeah, I found the music in the entrance as well.
He's good,
and so far so good. Again, only 2 matches in, but he's kind of held up his own. I'd like to see him in with someone. I mean, Mark Briscoe is great, of course, but someone a bit more of the AEW ilk than like Roderick Strong and Claudio, who are, don't get me wrong, very good in their own right, but maybe, a Ricochet or
Well, Paul, I have good news for
you. What?
Because after that match, we closed out with Kyle Fletcher coming out.
Now you're talking.
And following Okada's advice, he said, we're the best wrestler? Well, you're going to find out on Wednesday. It's me and you. Very interesting match. Again, another match where you're kind of like, I don't know who wins. That's an interesting one. I mean, I kind of assume Ciampa retains. Big scalp for Ciampa to be getting here. So yeah, and it should be great. And I'm curious to see where they go. That was Collision. Yeah, it wasn't a must see, but it was a solid 2 hours.
Was
Grand Slam Australia.
Yeah,
bloody hell.
we wouldn't typically preview a TV show, but I think this show is feeling like, and hesitate to sound like one of the dweebs that they show the tweets of at the start of Dynamite. At Tony Khan, oh my, Moxie's on the show. Is it Christmas? That's in Australia as a little, like, compared to last year's one, which was okay. This one has a feel of like a little pay-per-view, which is all the more annoying that it'll be on a delay Saturday night instead of live, because you've got 3 championship matches, one number 1 contender match for the world title, and then the mixed tornado, the hair versus hair stip. I mean, it's a very solid little show, and I'm sure they'll add 1 or 2 more before it's all said and done. We'll go through a little preview here. Orange Cassidy and Tony Storm versus Death Riders. Loser of the fall must have their head shaved.
Yes.
So we touched on that already.
Fun stuff.
Should be a fun little match. I will tell you something as well, is I wouldn't have had Tony come out in the denim jumpsuit until this match. Like the actual match itself would have been the reveal of Tony, the Orange Cassidy style denim.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, I get you.
I think they did it fully. John Moxley versus Konosuke Ishida for the Continental Championship. From the fantasy point of view, I will just mention from a 5-star perspective. John Moxley, Team Joe, Konosuke Takeshita, Team Barry. Obviously, title on the line as well, so possibly some bonus points there. That's a match I'm very much looking forward to. I think that might end up in the high 4s, if not higher, if Mox is capable of putting on the kind of performance we saw at World's End.
Absolutely.
Takeshi's no slouch either, of course. Singles match, winner will receive a World Championship match Revolution. Hanger versus Andrade. From the 5-star perspective, Hangman Adam Page, Team Barry, Andrade, Team Paul. Barry's got 2 there and one each.
Now, I don't know if that one will be... I'm looking forward to that match. I don't know if that'll be trouble in the...
Andrade against Hangman.
But listen, they're both in flying form. They're both in flying form. Let's see how many items of clothing Andrade removes. We'll see.
That's a good idea for a gimmick match, actually. That's never been done. Like a strip poker match. Every time you lose a fall, you have to remove an item of clothing.
But if you're listening, Tony, there you go.
Kind of a version of a tuxedo match or a ball gown match.
Yeah. The heel can cheat and wear a fig leaf. Babes of Wrath versus Mega Women's Tag Team Championships.
Yeah.
Interesting one. I wonder with the women's tag how frequently we might see title changes. Whether that's the kind of belt that needs the champions to have it for like 8 months, like so many of the titles, or whether we might see some more back and forth on that one.
And they are building up a babyface team as well. But I suppose you could do the Babes of Wrath versus the Brawl Buddies, the Brawling Birds.
I mean, the problem we've said as well, and this is another argument for Megan Bayne winning the title and Willow losing it, is you have with the trios belts and the women's belts, is people in those teams don't have as their full focus being in those teams. Like Willow is the TBS champion. The trios titles, you have Hangman is one of the trios titles. How often is he involved in the trios scene? He's obviously, even holding the belt, a very singles focused wrestler. Very annoying that they keep going back to that, where someone who's, going to continue being a singles wrestler, just haven't fucking hold the tag belts or hold the trios belts. Like, no, have your division for the teams in that division. Then they can maybe have more frequent matches. And then MJF and Brody King for the World Championship, of course. Do expect MJF to retain.
Of course, yeah.
It would be good to have a full-on match. I think those two guys will probably have a very good match. And then go off the air with face-off between MJF and his new challenger. One thing we don't have yet, and it would lead me to think that Ciampa is probably winning on Dynamite, is we don't have a Kyle Fletcher appearance on this show. And I would think if Fletcher was going to win, they would probably do it in Australia. But Fletcher did make reference in his promo that he would be like on the Australia show. He's like, I want to walk in as a champion. So maybe we'll see Fletcher in some form, a title match or something.
Yeah, it is interesting because it's also just an episode of television, and they've already got 5 matches.
I don't know. Did they say it's going to be any longer than a standard television?
I see that. Don't, but they usually hammer that stuff, and they didn't. So I would think not. Okay. Now, of course, worth remembering, I suppose, Mox to Keshta will be continental rules. So that's only 20 minutes tops.
Yes.
So I could see them. Squeezing this in to 2 hours, and maybe getting a Fletcher match in some capacity. But we'll see. Yeah, it's looking like a great show, and again, like interesting matches with results that aren't super obvious, and big stars, and bell to bell. You know it's going to be good. So yeah, looking very.
And I mean, and the fact that show is looking as good as it is, you would think that might mean we're in for a slightly lesser Dynamite, but Dynamite is actually looking great as well. Dynamite, you have the Statlander Tekla match, obviously, Ciampa against Fletcher, Omega and Swerve face to face. Oh God. Then a 3-person tag. Don't worry about that one. With the Rascals, who I keep calling the Radicals, the Young Bucks, and this mystery wildcard team. Ooh. Who's it going to be that lets me down when they come out? So yeah, should be a good week of TV again. I'm very much looking forward to. Looking forward to a full day of going out of my way to not look on the internet.
Yes.
I'll have to make sure that I'm busy doing something that day, because there's no, as I just mentioned, no Man United footy that weekend. So that's 2 hours that would have otherwise been accounted for that I'll have to figure out something to do. It's a full day of Ghost of Yotei and Oscar movies and nothing else.
Speaking of movies,
what?
It is movie golf time. Paul, how is the Oscar hunt going for you?
I'm good. I'm down to 8 movies left.
Very good.
With a month. When's the Oscars?
Like the day before Paddy's Day, 16, I think.
March 15. Well, yeah, over an hour.
Oh yeah,
it'll have crossed midnight by that stage, so we'll be on the 16th. Okay, so I have like a month and a week left to watch 8 movies. So that's very. It's like not even 2 a week, and I'll be fine. And 2 a week is the cadence that I've been following, because I watched 2 this week. Here's an impromptu quiz, guys.
Okay.
So I've seen 2 movies, Hamnet and Elio.
Nice.
One of those films was an excellent, harrowing tale of, a family coming together and breaking up with some powerhouse performances at the center. And one of them was a big old pile of middle-of-the-road animated shite.
Wait. You said animated. That's kind of tipped your head there. I'm starting to think you didn't really like Elio.
Yeah, I would start with Hamnet anyway, as I say. Hamnet, starring a couple of our lovely Irish acting force. Which, I mean, for a country as small as Ireland, we have some heavyweights in the acting world out there. We're actually good for potato production and actor production, it seems like. Jesse Buckley and Paul Mescal in this one. This tells the story of the allegedly real story, based on a book, of course, Hamnet, production of the play Hamlet. Mm-hmm. So the movie opens with kind of a text screen that says, in this era, the names Hamnet and Hamlet were basically interchangeable, which is something that does come into the plot in a kind of important way. But it's a very emotionally rich, it's a very dense movie, dense cake of a movie. It's a little deliberate, a little slow in the sense of, if you were to bullet point out the list of happenings, it would be a very short list, but also the movie never feels like it's standing still, and there's always very heavy emotional stuff going on. Mm-hmm. So like I said, quite a rich, dense movie, despite the fact that on the surface you might say, well, there's not really a lot happening. Tremendous performances, especially from Buckley, who I think has to be nailed on for the win here. I mean, I would say on both sides, kind of on the men and women categories, I'm not sure I've seen a performance as kind of heavy as hers in a way. I mean, you could argue Ethan Hawke in Blue Moon is good in a very different way. He's obviously a lighter, more comedic kind of performance. This is for heavy duty acting, where you can tell she's had to go to a very, very deep place to
Gone to that dark place.
Jessie Buckley looks at her hands. She looks at her hands and says, "Forsooth, why is one so evil? F." But no, really, really top stuff. I mean, it's definitely a performance movie, but also it's a movie that's very, very done, really, really striking cinematography. Like I said, goes to places emotionally that, in the Oscar realm, a lot of films do have that kind of sanitized, I want to say, Oscar bait feel to them, where they are ostensibly movies that are, about deeper topics. But this is a movie that kind of feels like it's really in that genre, as opposed to just doing it in kind of a more lip service kind of way. So Hamnet, definitely one. If you've not seen it already, Barry, should be on your list.
Oh yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm. But it's one that you'll probably not be fitting in 2 movies that day, because you'll be too
exhausted,
emotionally exhausted after watching Hamnet.
Yeah.
But really, really, really seriously good. Elio, on the other hand, the latest in the run of middle of the road Pixar slop, the once animation powerhouse, bringing us such classics as Toy Story and WALL-E and Finding Nemo and Ratatouille and Up, Toy Story 3, let's say, banger after banger after banger.
Yeah.
Was looking at their list. The last movie that I think that they've produced, which you could argue is in that upper echelon, for me was Coco. That came out 9 years.
Right.
Yeah.
The closest since then I feel like they've come was a movie called Luca, which I'm not sure that many saw.
No, I didn't.
But Luca, I thought, was also very good. All the other movies since then, either I haven't seen or I thought were kind of mediocre. So let me pull up Pixar here.
Yeah, I'm also looking. I'm like, let me see here.
Is there filmography? Here we go. List of Pixar films. So since 2017, Coco, Incredibles 2, Toy Story 4, Onward didn't see. Soul, I know a lot of people like Soul. I found Soul very, very average.
Yeah.
Luca, I liked quite a bit. Turning Red, okay, I would say. Lightyear, I didn't see. Elemental, I would say, was very poor.
Very poor.
Inside Out 2, I would say, was very poor. And then Elio, unfortunately, was also very poor. And Hoppers was the one I was talking about last week that I saw the trailer for.
Yes. It was terrible.
So this is Pixar that we're dealing with, Elio is a movie about a young kid who is obsessed with aliens and meeting at the expense of their own personal life in terms of having friends. So this is a movie that was apparently through the ringer in terms of development hell,
right?
And rewrites and rescripts and change of personnel, change of director, change of cast. I believe I've read that some of these changes might have been due to the political climate at the moment.
Okay.
Because this film appears to have had a lot of its central themes in terms of the lead character's ethnicity and potential, identity stripped out of it.
Right.
And look, you can get on your soapbox about what should be in a kid's movie and what should not. The reality is that what you're left with here is a movie that's about nothing.
Right.
You have this little kid and their parents have died. Is there any context as to what happened there? Nope, don't worry about it. They just tell you the parents died. Okay, that's enough. They live with their aunt. Does the aunt have any specific qualities that we should be aware of? No, don't worry about it. The aunt who was originally supposed to have been voiced by America Ferrara and was recast as Zoe Saldana, and then had all the anything to do with Latin identity stripped out of the movie.
Okay.
So the kid is a bit of a weirdo. Is there any reason why? Do they have any, circumstances we should be aware of that might inform on this child's life. Oh, don't worry about it, baby. Just a bit of a kid. Don't worry. It's not a kid, actually. The thing is the movie, yada, yada, yada. And so it's a movie with no subtext. It's a movie with very little context. It's a very straightforward film in a way that seems like aimed at a younger audience than normal. I would say has vibes of The Good Dinosaur in that respect, which is one of Pixar's other weakest films. And so, the fact that it's kind of had so much of the story removed during its production cycle, you get the feeling that you're left with kind of a meal that had most of the core ingredients removed. And so, for better or worse, you kind of want a film to be about something.
Oh yeah,
and you come away from Elio like this film has a story. It has a journey, but thematically, I don't feel like my life was enriched in any way by watching it.
Right.
Not a horrible movie by any means, but just more of a waste of time. So I would not recommend Elio. In fact, I'd recommend, if you have it on your list, I'd recommend you remove it.
Right. Well, I don't typically bother with the animated ones anyway. Unless they are independent of their Oscar nomination, I'm told they're good, which I have done.
Yeah, watch Little Amelie instead, which is
I do want to watch that.
The opposite. Yeah. The opposite.
Yeah. I watched 2 Oscar movies this week. I watched Frankenstein, which people seem pretty split on. Some people really like it, some people don't like it. I really enjoyed it. I like the Del Toro stuff that I've seen. I really like. It's as you might think, it's a bit of a spin on it. It's not a kind of one-to-one retelling of the traditional Frankenstein story, but I think it's a really interesting reimagining. Good performances. Obviously, Isaacs is great as Dr. Frankenstein. Mia Goth is the love interest, Elizabeth, who I didn't really know anything about at all. My wife, who wrote a pieces about Mary Shelley, was telling me that they emphasize the Elizabeth character a lot more in Del Toro's film versus most other famous versions of this story. Really good, and I would say as for a Netflix movie, I would say it looks great. Removing that caveat, I would say it looks good. I think the first half of this movie is so it's quite long. It's 2.5 hours, 2 hours 40-ish.
Yeah.
And it's kind of there's young Dr. Frankenstein stuff living in Downton Abbey, Bridgerton town, with sprawling mansion and all this other stuff. That stuff all looks great, very kind of gritty, very stylized, lots of kind of depressing gothic imagery with flushes of beauty in the midst of it. Mia Goth plays both Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein's mother, and then in the present, quote unquote present, she's his love interest and all that going on. It all looks really good and it's very stylistic. And I'm watching a Guillermo del Toro movie. It's kind of gross and dark, but it's also in its own way. And there's a turning point in the film where they get to the big over-the-top castle where he's going to make the monster, right? And it's what you'd expect is a very over-the-top gothic building where they build a contraption into the roof to leverage a thunderstorm to shock a zombie to life, right? Frankenstein, right? And the scene where they first see that building and Frankenstein's financier is showing him this place, it looks like it's from Age of Ultron. Because he's showing him around this lab, and I've noted this in my Letterboxd review, but I want to think, if I could pinpoint certain things that really look bad in modern movies, CGI sun, right? When people want this, I want the scene to be really orangey, kind of sun-baked, kind of, atmospheric. Always looks like shit. It always just looks like we've tried our best to light these actors in a way that kind of looks like the CGI sun, but it doesn't really. It looks like you've got 2 completely different light sources that just do not blend well together at all. I was reminded of the I'll say the one singular imperfection in John Wick 4, which did not knock it down from a 5-star film, in my opinion, which is when the 2 characters are looking at the big sun at the climax of that movie, and they're all right, Chad, this looks a bit naff, if I'm being honest with you, bud. I mean, this is a really awesome, perfect movie that I've watched 50 times now. This looks a bit crap because it's obviously not really there, is it, mate? Yeah. And that moment then almost kind of symbolically, there's like a flip, and I think the entire second half of the film doesn't look as good. Not because it's all sunbaked, but that's an interesting kind of turning point. The locations are a little less interesting. It does feel like it's a little bit more computery augmented. Do you know what I mean? Whereas early on in the film, you've got like a great scene where like Oscar Isaacs is in like, you know, little tiny like surgeries where it's like surrounded by seats, right? It's like a circle, and he's operating in the middle of it. It looks great. And it feels like a real space, and then it loses a little bit of that. So visually, it didn't quite. It's no Pan's Labyrinth, but it's still. But as far as 2025 films go, it's a very nice looking film. But yeah, thumbs up. Awards wise, nah. Ellerdy, nah, he good. I like Jacob Ellerdy. Just get you away from. Don't do any more Euphoria. Don't do this Emerald Fennel shit. Just, you're a good lad. Go make some interesting films.
Wuthering Heights. That's what he's doing.
Go make
fennel juice.
Go make them. Go make something good. You know, he's a talent. Bless him. But yeah, it was good. It was a solid watch. The other thing I watched, If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. This is, I believe, solely nominated for Rose Byrne, I think.
I my notes. Right.
I think that's the case.
If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so this is Rose Byrne plays a mother to a daughter with a sort of mysterious, non-specified illness, and she's kind of trying to deal with that while her husband is away on work. She is herself some variety of psychiatrist or psychotherapist. She herself is going to a therapist who she also works with. She's played by Conan O'Brien, who's very good, very, very good in this film. I would say one of the more pleasant surprises in the film. Conan's great, obviously, but I didn't expect him to be as good as he is in this film. And it's pretty much just a movie about the hell of being a mother, I guess, is what this movie is about, because she's got this horrible condition that her daughter is going through. Her work is extremely stressful because, you know, you see a couple of her patients and, you know, they're all people in dire need of help, and she's got that stress. Her relationship with the Conan character, who is her therapist / her co-worker, is very frosty and odd, and he seems very put out by the fact that she's using him as a therapist. She's living in a shitty motel because her roof started to cave in, which is a visual they keep going back to because her life is just, you know, falling slowly. So, and it is one of those movies I would describe as it's kind of the current genre du jour. I feel a little bit like it's like one of those movies where people tell you it's like an anxiety attack was a film. Parentheses complimentary.
Sounds bad.
And I think I kind of realized after watching this that I just think I'm not into that. Like, yeah, it was good. It's always worth emphasizing that. I get it. I also don't think it's very hard to pick up what because it hammers you over the head with it. You know, it's kind of grounded in some sense of reality with the other characters. Kind of acting in a slightly exaggerated way, but believable enough. She's just dealing with the horrors of modern life and social etiquette and deteriorating circumstances, and she's just pulled in 100 different directions. And one of those movies, it's Uncut Gems, whatever your other example would be of. There's just multiple scenes where there's like a baby screaming and a phone going off, and she's trying to have a phone conversation. Person on the phone is a dickhead and can't hear it because there's a baby screaming. The baby screaming goes on for 5 minutes. The child character, again, it's not very deliberate. The child character is like Babadook levels because thematically they're doing that on purpose, just like the Babadook was, right? They're kind of trying to make you hate the kid and in a weird way relate to her having to deal with the kid, but also it's her kid, so she has to, you know. I get it. They're doing that all on purpose, but that didn't change the fact that I wanted to turn this off 20 minutes in. I wanted to turn it off an hour in. Screaming, shouting, loud noises, millions of characters talking over each other, shaky cam all the time. I was like, okay, I get it. I get it, movie. I get it. seems bad. I get it, and and again, it's kind of like that's the kind of defense of it is that it's doing that on purpose. Like, okay, but I got that. Like, it's so obvious what the movie is doing 10 minutes in, and there's a reveal at the end that I won't spoil. That I think it's kind of well done. But if you can't predict the reveal that happens at the end of this movie 10 minutes into it, you've possibly never seen a motion picture in your life before. I didn't hate it because I think I do kind of appreciate the craftsmanship of it. I would never watch it again. I don't even say I would recommend it. I think you'd have to be in a very particular mood. My wife got a bit more out of it than I did. I think she enjoyed it to a certain degree, but even she kind of agreed with me that it was a lot. I think I am just kind of this type of film. I liked, but I was lower on like Uncut Gems than a lot of people were. This kind of chaotic, and there's things strobing and just constant screaming and phones going off and isn't modern life shit? Yeah, man. Yeah, I live it. You know what I mean? It's not as bad as this, but I don't need to tell you. Aren't people dickheads? Don't you hate when your phone goes off and someone's yelling at you and there's a rude lady at the shop who won't serve you because of some technical bullshit? Yes. Can I have like a scene that's like is interesting or does something new or something? But no, not for me. Not for me at all. Rose Byrne good though. Rose Byrne good. Of those nominees, you are again Best Actress nominees 2026. Oh no, sorry. Best is it leading yet? Is it better than Kate Hudson? That's probably where I'd stop. I haven't seen Hamnet yet, but yeah, she's a worthy contender in that list, but wouldn't be putting the rent money on Rose Byrne. But yeah, you haven't seen that yet, Paul, have you? Paul.
No, I have not, and I didn't run for shit.
I was just going to say he may be shitting. Oh.
I went to turn the radiator off. No, I have not seen. But it is on my list, and looking at my file here, 1 hour 53. That's doable. That's doable.
But the other thing as well, though, is like I said, I kind of got what it was doing very early. Yeah, so even though that's not a long movie, for this type of movie, I was like, oh boy. Yeah, interesting enough cast. Like obviously, so Conan is like probably the number one supporting actor, and A$AP Rocky is in it. I don't know if he's done other acting. He was okay. Yeah, he wasn't great. He wasn't bad. I don't know if that's a career pivot.
If he was bad in it, though, you could have the headline A$AP Rocky.
Yeah, he was alright. Good album.
I have 8 movies left to watch, so you guys can give me the thumbs up, thumbs down on these. I know you have reviewed a lot of these,
okay,
so we got to get your takes. Sentimental Value,
thumbs up.
The Secret Agent.
I haven't seen it.
One, it's on the list.
Yeah, Secret Agent, 2 hours fun.
That's the long one, is
but I believe it's nominated for Best Picture as well as Best Actor. Train Dreams.
Yeah,
that's one that Joe
gave that the thumbs up.
Yeah.
Thumbs up. Yeah. 2 hours 35 of Formula One.
Gritted my teeth to sit down and watch it either.
Yeah, never has, from the maker of Top Gun Maverick, done so little heavy lifting in my mind in terms of getting me to finish the movie. If I Lies I Kick You, we just covered Song Sung Blue, which you mentioned just a few moments ago, Barry.
So, if, thumbs mildly up as a film, a funny film to nominate for an Oscar. It's okay.
Yeah, Best Actress only. Hudson.
Yeah.
And then 2, I believe none of us have seen. It Was Just an Accident, which is only nominated for Best Original Screen.
Yes, that's also on my list. That's about 90 minutes. I think I have that ready to watch.
Hour 1:45.
Sounds good. It sounds interesting. Yeah.
And then Arco, which is, I believe, the only movie on my list that is not, let's say, alternatively available. And we'll leave it at that.
Oh, that's another animated one, is it?
That's the other animated one. So I've seen 4. What a bad slate of animated movies.
Yeah, because I know K-pop got nominated as well. I watched that 2 weeks ago. You watched that. I mean, that's nothing.
K-pop's 100% winning.
It's 100% winning, and I mean, you want to talk about the Gentleman's 3 perfectly fine film. I mean, it's been a rough couple of years. It's been a rough couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, Zootopia, I would say the same. It's exactly, 3, let's say. Elio bad, Little Amelie good, but not like to the extent of Flo or what was the other one called? Wild Robot. It's probably like 2 great movies that like really poor slate this year. So yeah, getting one step closer to the Oscars.
Getting close, yeah. What about your telly? The only telly I wanted to put in was that I haven't been on King of the Hill in a while, but I started season 6, so I'm about halfway through the original run. And I just want to say it's really entertaining. It's really entertaining. It's very consistent. A couple of whiffs here or there, which I mean, even Glory Days, Simpsons had that to a certain extent. Just very charming, very understated in its humor. And I'm really liking it. And I'm really curious now how the modern season goes. I'm still quite a ways off from that, but thumbs up on King of the Hill. I'm way behind on the pit, so I don't have any like current telly to talk about. How about you, Paul?
I'm being slowly convinced to watch the pit.
Watch the pit.
I've had multiple people tell me.
I think you should. I there was a scene in season 2 where I did have to put my hand over a certain part of the telly because it was a bit too much for me. I think you can watch it that way.
This week's episode was particularly disgusting, I'll be honest. Some really graphic stuff. So once you get to season 2, episode 5, watch it through your fingers. But yeah, watch it anyway. It's not really gross. Most of it's character stuff. It's just it's just very realistic.
Yeah, I mean, again, if we've got fan of the Terrifier movies, Barry, telling me this was a bit much, brother. So
I need to know how to take it. But I also think it's different though as well, because I think it's
well, contextually, it's like medical.
Yeah. I hate medical stuff in general. There was also what the fuck? Oh, that's my cat taking a shit. I was like, what the fuck is that scraping? The Terrifier is coming to get my cat over the shit, I believe. It's like, I hate medical stuff. There's a scene in If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. That it wasn't even bloody or grotesque in any over the top way. I just hate. You know what I love? One thing I loved about The Substance that was gross was like that first scene when she's like unpacking all the tubes. And I was like, and all the stuff that the thing came, I was like, oh, it just makes me so uncomfortable. So the pit, I mean, it's got a lot of that stuff as well. But
maybe I'll watch it on a tiny screen.
You
the size of a stamp.
Yeah, you can watch it on an RT TV.
iPod Classic. Get the iPod Classic.
iPod Classic. I think you could do it. And I think you could look away when it's gnarly, because also as well, it's like you can hear the dialogue's the main thing.
There's an idea. Convert the whole show to MP3 and listen to it as a podcast.
There must be a squeamish edit out there. I mean, I feel like once upon a time, that's the type of thing the internet used to be good for.
Yeah, maybe I need to wait for the blurred version. Okay, so I've been watching anyway. Maybe I'll get to the pit. We'll see. Did finish the seasons of Fallout and Alien Earth.
Okay.
Fallout, I thought, had a pretty average finale for what was generally a good season. I wasn't super hot on the finale. I thought it was a little muted and a little okay. So I love Lost.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. I'm a huge Lost head. It's a Lost encyclopedia. I have a little John Locke trading card with a bit of his shirt from the show Lost. But I will agree that with people who criticize Lost in the terms of, especially in latter seasons 5 and 6, they got too wrapped up in a mystery inside a mystery inside a mystery inside a mystery inside a mystery. So here with Fallout season 2 and the finale especially, it did give me a little sense of, is just going to be an endless breadcrumb of, you go to find out the answer, and in the answer box is another question, and then you have to go find that box, and then that is another question, and some threads of this season especially seem to not go anywhere other than to say, let's revisit that in season 3. So there was one plot with the fellas from the vault who are, if you've watched any of Fallout, the story takes place mostly in the wasteland, but every now and then we'll go back to that original vault and show you what the guys are doing there. So there was some set of those vault dwellers that escaped out to the surface during season 2.
Right.
And that plot, again, lets some little breadcrumbs out. I won't say what they are for people who haven't seen them. Lets some little breadcrumbs, but then come the finale, no real resolution to that arc, other than to say, let's see what happens to them guys. This is through. So, as a finale specific, I didn't find it ultimately. I like a finale to kind of close off a lot of threads from that season, while, some of the larger overarching stories, you set up for the following season.
Mm-hmm.
This felt like a little too much. Don't worry about that stuff until next season, and too little resolving of actual threads from this season. And it was okay. Also watched the Alien Earth finale,
which you weren't enjoying anyway.
Which I wasn't super hot on. I mean, again, one episode I really enjoyed Alien Earth, which was episode 5. The rest of them I found kind of not aggressively bad, but like consistently different from my own tastes.
Right.
So, it's one of those things where it's like the show is maybe not objectively bad, but what I want, if you're promising me an Alien TV show, I want there to be a general feeling of Alien to it.
Yeah.
Where what you actually get is like, I don't know. So like a mid-tier like action movie that happens to take place, like Jason Statham's The Beekeeper in the Alien universe.
Right.
Like, it doesn't have the. I tell you, I haven't played it, but here's maybe a simile that works, or an analogy that works. Metroid Prime 4 to what Metroid typically is.
Right.
Metroid,
okay.
The other Metroid games, especially 2D games, Super Metroid, Metroid Zero Mission, so on. They have a very specific vibe to them, and they have a very specific claustrophobic, the corridors are closing in from feeling to it, which I could argue was influenced by the little movie that came out in 1979, directed by Ridley Scott, The Alien, right? And so this TV series is the equivalent of you're driving around on a motorcycle in the desert for some reason. You know what I mean? Like, that isn't Alien,
right?
To me, you're doing some other thing that's annoying and stupid instead of Alien. And that's not to say you have to have a season about people in a ship being slowly picked off by an alien, because I think Prometheus has been. Some people don't like Prometheus, totally honest.
Yeah,
but that took a big swing to be different.
Yeah,
while retaining the overall feeling of what the Alien universe is.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
This takes a similar big swing, but loses the almost entire feeling of what Alien was, except sometimes an alien comes out and kills people. But the whole vibe of the show is lost. Apart from that one episode, like I said, episode 5, there's one character who is like nailed in a sea of annoying bozos. There's one character who's absolutely feels like he was plucked right out of the original.
Mm-hmm.
And so that one episode 5, which is specifically about him and some, like his backstory to the current situation, that episode's fucking great. Make the whole show about him.
Yeah.
He's cool. He's interesting. The actor is brilliant. But instead, the whole show is about these fucking stupid hybrid, cyborgs, who are like annoying and stupid, and the show, whenever they're on screen, is massively uninteresting. So, Alien Earth season 1 has been completed. And I went to my TV Excel file and I right-clicked on the row and I hit delete, brother. Never season 2.
Never to be seen again.
Never to be seen again. And again, people really like that show. I know it got like critically acclaimed. And so I'm very willing to accept this might be me on the island. But this show,
I don't think it is
absolutely not for me. Not for me.
Like, because you're definitely right. Like, it critically, yes, it did do well, but like more anecdotally, I haven't spoke to anyone who really liked it. I know some people who were kind of into it. I think the same is also true for like Welcome to Derry, where it's like most people I know who watched it didn't like it or were kind of into it ironically. This is TV doesn't really get slated. I mean, like, what was the last like prestige TV show that wasn't made by Ryan Murphy that actually got slated? Do you know what I mean?
Was that the one with Kim Kardashian?
Well, yeah, or
Any
of the absolute fucking garbage that guy fucking produces. But like other than that, if it's like a competently made TV show by one of the big streamers, like it doesn't really get slated. There's not a whole lot of scathing reviewers out there. People love to rip apart a movie or a video. Well, video games have similar problem. If a movie comes out and it's not up to snuff, it'll get ripped to pieces. But I have all of Alien Earth ready to watch, but it's not just you. It is not just you. Every conversation I've had has been negative on it. So, yeah.
And then a show that everyone does enjoy,
yes,
including me. I did finish my rewatch of Nirvana on the show. We blasted through those 2 TV series, albeit they're like 20 minutes long, only 8 episodes each. You literally rewatch lots of stuff picked up on that I hadn't got the first time around. It's that kind of show, obviously. Marveling at some of this is definitely a show where it's like a magic show where you're so interested in the how. And to be fair, I found out a few of the how or what, why. But for the most part, I don't want it. Yeah. I've come to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm seeing what I'm seeing. I can't quite believe it. But I don't want to know exactly how. And I will say the few stories that, you do find out about how are no less amazing than watching it first time. Because these guys obviously are pros at what they're doing, let me tell you. And the amount of work that goes into making what seems like on the surface a very, very easy show to make, you find behind the scenes that it's anything.
And what? Yes.
Absolutely a joy. So I'm watching through the bonus features now. The web series, and again, watching the outtakes from the web series, so much insight into like specifically the improv nature of the show, where you have them talking about like the scene they're about to shoot.
Yeah,
no, you and to an extent you kind of get the vibe of they're maybe closer to their characters than they are, but very much like I'm going to do this, and then you come in and do this, and like no, that's stupid, or like mid scene stopping. No, you're like talking over me and not listening to what I'm saying, and blah blah blah. Really interesting. So. Very much enjoying that. Hopefully the movie drops, as we've talked about before. I would love to see it in the cinema. I'm not sure if it's something that comes online 9 months before an Irish release date, if it's something that I'll necessarily be able to.
Yeah, I will. No, I will wait on. If that's the type of thing where like big news, everyone, summer 2026, it's coming. I'm like, no fucking chance. My wait, because it's one of those ones. I don't want someone to spoil it, or you know what I mean. I don't want. I don't want any of that. So I'll be watching it the first available opportunity to watch it in 1080p, wherever that may be. But yeah,
I'd love it to be in a cinema.
I would love it. Yeah, I would.
Those series are killer, and I still hold out hope that we might get a season 3 someday. Fingers crossed.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, that's the telly. Like I say, I'm a bit behind on my. I still haven't started Fallout season 2. Seems like there was a big drop off in interest on it this year, but I'm curious to get to it. And on the gaming thing, I am still trying to kind of do my thing where I focus on like one big game at a time and try and get through the backlog that way. But I got my first big barrier to that goal this week when I got this sumbitch that I'm holding up to my camera here that the listeners can't.
It's a little black thing.
It's a little black thing that's on
the Bible. Oh my God!
It is the Bible, folks. It's a little book.
It's a little book. Let me tell you about the greatest video game of all.
Let me tell you about the greatest video game of all time, folks. Coming back from the dead. Okay.
Sorry, I just said the artwork.
The artwork is spectacular, by the way. No, this is an AYN Thor is the name of this device. AYN is one of the more kind of like premium-y makers of these little handheld piracy devices you use to play old video games. They come in all
the Ayn Rand Thor.
The Ayn Rand Thor, that's what it's called. They they make the things that are a little bit pricier, a little bit more premium feeling, and this is one that like really blew up in popularity last year. IGN reviewed it, like it got covered on a lot of like bigger there's a lot of YouTube channels and websites in the niche of these little handheld yokes. And this one kind of broke out of containment in that regard because its big gimmick is that it is a clamshell. And if I open it up there, it's
by God, like
it's a dual screen device, and it's even got a little because it's based on Android, so it works like a phone or tablet. So I opened it there, and it's just it's just resumed my game there. I'll close it and it'll suspend it again because I'm still broadcasting. Its big thing is that it looks like it looks like if Nintendo said after the 3DS, now fuck the Switch, we're just going to keep iterating. It looks like what a Nintendo produced 3DS sequel would look like in like 2022 or something like that. But yeah, it is Android based, and so it can emulate everything that's on Android all the way up to like PS2, Wii U, a little bit of Switch if you're a bold boy. And I think the key thing that a lot of the reviews hammered on that made me think maybe I do want this is that the actual dual screen experience is excellent. You've been able to play DS games and 3DS games on your PC, on a Steam Deck, on a phone for years, and it's great. Yeah. And the power is there because they're not very power hungry consoles. But the big thing is, I played a lot of them on my Steam Deck, and it's a perfectly okay way to play, but it's not the same. You're like pressing a button to swap your screen so you can see the two of them, or maybe you're stacking them on top of each other so they're really tiny screen. This thing, a combination of the sort of the way it's made, but also the folks who develop the emulators themselves, who like this, including delivery, this thing was like 300 quid. Okay.
Wow.
And the funny thing is that like it's only worth buying because the folks who develop the emulators for free have added like dual screen support in the last year or so to their emulators, allowing companies like this to say, "Oh, thanks very much. We'll make a 2-screen device that we can sell for hundreds of quid." You don't get anything out of that. Nintendo certainly doesn't get anything out of it, let alone the people who make the emulators. But I mean, it is like after a little bit of setup, it comes completely blank. It comes like an Android tablet. They're all good boys and girls. They don't preload it with anything naughty. You have to go and set it all up yourself and put the emulators on, put the ROMs on it. But
that's half the fun, though.
That is half the fun. I've had so much fun setting things up on it. And like I put a little thread on.
I would spend 40 hours doing that and then never play it.
Well, that's what I do with most of these devices. I've got a couple of these and they've all, because like almost none of them are running their like original software. I put custom firmware on them and blah, blah. The one thing I haven't done on this is there's multiple independent developers who are working on custom front ends for dual screen devices. There's a couple of other companies who are doing things like this. And so there's a guy out there making one that like it's like an actual 3DS home screen, but it has like YouTube and Chrome and all your pirating apps on it. Like I haven't done any of that yet, but I was like messing around. The screen is fucking gorgeous, like a 1080p like OLED screen. It looks unbelievable. So I was messing around with filters on it. So I was playing SNES and I was putting like a ever so slightly so subtle little fuzzy CRT effect. Yeah. The tinkering alone is all the fun. But I did actually play some games on it because I'm still trying to play games and not just tinker and
just played games. I don't believe.
So I wanted to play some actual dual screen games, obviously to use the two screens of it. I played for the very first time. Did you ever play Elite Beat Agents back in the day on the DS?
No, but it's a name that I've heard a ton of.
It's a rhythm game. It's like a dancing game of sorts where you just like you tap the stylus in rhythm on the screen. Really fun, wacky soundtrack. It's got Skater Boy, Let's Dance by Bowie, YMCA. There's some Sum 41 on there. Absolutely bizarre collection of songs, possible way. And each level it plays like a little wacky short story where it's like, it's a babysitter who's trying to look after the kids, but also ask her boyfriend to go steady with her. And so you have to like nail the dance prompts, or the date goes badly or goes well based on how well you're dancing. It's very, very silly, very over the top. Great fun. Really fucking hard. I'm not a rhythm game guy at all, but I had a lot of fun with it. Given the season, I, for the first time in my life, played one of the Mario and Sonic Olympic Games. I've never touched one of these. Yeah. They made about 800 of these on 20 different platforms. I played the Winter Olympics.
They're mash the buttons and waggle your thing as fast as possible.
Yes, they're kind of like what if Mario Party was like a little better, dare I say, to play, but also infinitely more boring.
Get rid of the board game element.
Get rid of the board game element. And I have found because obviously this is released on the Wii, the DS, the 3DS. I think did it have quote-unquote normal console releases? I actually don't know. I feel like it was mostly on
the Wii or on the Switch.
I feel like it was mostly on consoles where you could shake something or
Tokyo 2020.
But surely that must have involved you doing the Joy-Con motion, maybe.
Very, very possibly.
But as Paul said, I associate this series with doing Nintendo gimmicks. I will say they play decently well. Like it's not FIFA levels of depth, but it works well. The only kind of issue is with it, at least for this one, I'm playing Winter Olympics 2010, and when I click on like the button before the mini game that says controls, it's usually like a 5-minute video of how you play the game. Instead of just putting swipe left on the touchscreen, make character go left. It basically plays a round in full in video form for you to see controls. And then the actual game itself is like 60 seconds long. So I don't think I'm going to play much more of this because there's a horrible ratio of watching tutorial videos to playing the game. As much as I knock Mario Kart or Mario Party, listen, you just get in and you play those stupid games, you know. But yeah.
Yes.
And then the other thing I'm playing, which I've played a million times over the years and I've never finished. I'm playing Chinatown Wars, which was the GTA on the DS. It's a great game. It's so interesting. And I'm having a blast with it. And yeah, this is a very, very cool doodad. I'm having a great time with it. It is fun to tinker with, but I am actually playing it a shit ton thus far. Yeah, it was pricey and the wait times are not great. Basically, they do them in batches. And so you have to pre-order a batch. And so I pre-ordered that. This is from batch 2. And obviously all the reviews were so positive from batch 1. So that's when I took the plunge. I reviewed that. I bought that Christmas week, and it got delivered to me, I think, last Thursday. So that's the way it works. So, and they're currently like taking pre-orders for batch 3. That begins in March. And by begins, that doesn't mean on 1st of March they post them all out, because there was a big gap between batch 2 starting to ship and me getting my shipping email. So you're going to be waiting. I hope you have patience. I hope you're not an airway bill refresher. This is not on Amazon Prime. That'd be the one thing I would caution on it. But yeah, that's it. No modern games for me this week. I kind of been slacking on my Cyberpunk. I want to get back to it. I think that's going to do it for the show this week, folks. Thank you very much for listening. We'll be back next week with your Valentine's edition of the ChairShot Podcast, where we'll be telling you how much we love you and sending you all flowers. Looking forward to that. ChairShotPodcast.com is where you can go pop us an email and send us Valentine's love or feedback on the show or a question or just a take you have. You can go for it. And it's also where you can go to see the Fantasy League updated in real time by PG.
My God.
And does a great job there. So, with all that said, thank you very much for listening, folks. It's goodbye from me, Barry. It's goodbye from Joe.
Goodbye.
That's goodbye from Paul.
No.
Oh, no, not on the microphone. Oh, that cost me 300 quid, that thing you just shot on. No.
My microphone cost me about 20 quid. Okay, see you, listeners. Goodbye.